All right, everybody's gonna say the amount of photos they have in their camera roll. So pull it up. You too, Prab Joe.
Yeah, man, my phone over there. I know how much I have on the back of my
Okay, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, start from that way.
All right.
Okay, I got 82,200 last time I checked. My iCloud storage is 1 terabyte. I don't give a fuck. I pay that shit up the ass.
82,000 photos.
It's like $12.
But it's like
month.
videos as well.
$12,
Right?
yeah.
How much is it? $12 a month?
I think I almost capped it out.
Where are you doing? Like posting?
It's just like, oh no, okay, so I take vlogs just for my future self too. I'm like, yo, we're out here in the gutters and shit, hustling 12-hour days.
You should post that.
No,
You
I'm not gonna
should.
post
Bro,
it.
you should make a private story and put
He
it
does.
as a subscriber,
I
only
do.
$5.99 a month,
Yeah.
and you post those
Man's all
videos.
I think,
business
it's
timing.
I
Let's
think
go.
it'll hit
Hey.
more when we're sitting at the top though. You know,
Yeah,
like then
facts.
it'll hit harder. It'll be like me with a teddy pog after a long ass day.
I would pay to
Fucking
see
mango.
that. I would
I
pay
know.
to see that.
Yeah.
$5.99 to give me a little bit of joy throughout the day.
Yeah,
as I'm
yeah,
going,
yeah.
as I'm dealing with the shit we had to deal with today.
Oh my
Only
god.
hustle.
You
And I
guys,
see that.
Yeah.
You see people doing the same shit that you are every day, and
Yeah.
you're like, man, I'm not alone. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sitting here too.
It's like, yo, today I didn't even see my parents for 3 days now.
I have not seen my parents for a week. My
Oh,
mom,
We were
my mom-
obligated to go there
my
yesterday.
mom
Yeah.
yesterday was like, oh, like,
Kinne
yeah, she's like, kinne baje kar auna hai? I was like, I don't know, probably like 5 6. She's like, 5 6 ke 1 2. She's like, tu 10 kadam auna hai? I was like, no, mommy, like I'm coming.
Clearly, yeah.
I had a point where my mom ripped on me for that too because I didn't see them for an entire week, and then on the weekend when I got home, they were like, "Tu tera na bhi hai?" And I was like, "Damn."
Where do you go though? Where do you disappear to?
So my parents' schedule, they work in the morning, so they wake up early. I get home, I stay up working,
Yeah.
and then when I go to sleep, they're going to work, and when they come home, I'm gone out of the house.
It's tough, but I think what's better is having very quality time with them rather than just one off. You
Yeah.
see them all the time.
That's
they
it.
don't appreciate it.
That is
you
the
don't
bars.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
yeah.
see somebody less, like family especially, I feel like when I do see them now, it's like, yo, come here, like let's
That's
have
true.
a freaking
Yeah.
hangout session and let's just
That's
chop it up,
true.
right?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here though.
Okay.
So you say you less you see them, more you appreciate them, but also in the same light, someone can also argue the fact that you'll regret not seeing them more when you're older, when they eventually pass away or when they get too old for you to actually have that conversation that you used to have with them beforehand.
But then the argument is, do you want to spend all of your waking hours there with them, getting
Yeah.
the same experiences over and over again? Or do you want your son, and they probably would want their son, if explained to them properly,
Yeah.
to go experience the world, life, different
Yeah,
realms
yeah.
of human
Yeah.
experience, and then become a well-rounded person and enjoy their life?
Yeah.
I think our
Yeah.
parents didn't enjoy their lives as much.
There's extreme
But
ends
they're
though.
almost wired to not even like want to go travel Europe and see the Eiffel Tower. Like they don't give
They're-
a
they're
fuck. Like,
wired.
they're chilling, drinking John shit. I used to like feel bad because I'd be like, yo, mommy, like I'm like seeing the world and shit. I'm going to Rome, and you're just here at home, and she'd be like, yo, like I honestly am just chilling here, like you know, making food and shit.
But do you think that they just actually enjoy that, or they didn't have the opportunity to do it when it was fun? Like we have the opportunity. Like going at
Yeah.
60 is not fun.
I go back and forth. I honestly
Your
don't
knees
know.
hurt. Like everything hurts. You're taking 10 different pills. Like you're feeling sick all the time.
Yeah.
When you're older, and
I
right
don't think
now
they
we can
know
do
fun.
anything.
I think they see that we came here. Saranu Magake ai. They came and they got all their family. Now instead of that, there's okay, I gotta raise my kids. We're gonna have kids and make sure my
Yeah.
kids are doing the same thing. Okay, what about my in-laws? What about the house duties? What do I
Yeah.
need to do? They don't have the word fun in their vocabulary because their parents didn't see it. Their parents
Yeah.
knew when they came here, they didn't see it, so they don't know what it is, right?
So now,
It comes a point though where you actually have to like sit them down and explain that too, right? As I get older, because now my dad's like more adventurous. He'll go out and like climb a mountain or like go fishing with like some random goat on a boat. And I'll
Fishing?
get a WhatsApp boat up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my dad.
I've never seen a brown man on a boat fishing.
So here's this funniest story. My dad sent me a WhatsApp video randomly. This is about a year ago, and I was at work, and I opened this attachment. I thought my dad was sending me something from the house or like an old photo that came up in a memory or something.
Yeah.
And I open it, and it's my dad. It's a video of my dad with some random gora, a dog, and my dad's best friend on a boat, and they're just like, "Eh, damar, you need to see funny."
Is he holding the fish like here, like
no,
this?
he caught no fish. He caught no fish. Like he's definitely not a fisherman.
Dad's very lovable though. You could tell like everyone loves him. Like
Yeah.
Did he try to take you
Coworkers.
fishing?
He tried to take me skydiving.
Wow.
Did you do it?
We're planning it still.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. Like I remember one time I was like texting like, "Yo, where's your dad at?" And he randomly like took a trip to New Zealand, like solo
Yeah, he
style.
just took a New Zealand trip.
And it's like
whatever,
such a
for fun.
random country to
My
go
dad,
to.
my dad just explores now. He's
Like,
like, I'm 50, bro.
Is he retired?
No.
His dad's like
Damn.
really fit. Like this guy got him on a fitness plan that he just got me on.
Yeah.
Your
his
dad
dad's, like,
got you
really
on a
fit.
fitness plan?
No, so I got my dad on a diet plan
Okay,
afterwards,
okay,
and then
okay.
I got him on the same one now too.
But
Yeah.
like, where
What's
did
your guys' goals?
I just
And,
want to get jacked, but I feel like being vegetarian, like I was just working out whey protein too hard, and then also like nothing else in my diet was
You gotta do
proper.
weight gainer.
So,
No.
pardon? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
weight gain,
I did like stagnate pretty hard, and then also like my head would randomly be flying everywhere, but I couldn't gain weight or muscles. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna stop tripping out and just like let a professional handle it."
Yeah.
And this guy made me like a diet meal plan and like a fitness plan, and I feel so much better because I
what's
don't
your
have time.
protein?
Pardon?
What's your protein?
It's like so it's like fucking
Tofu.
a lot of peanut butter, a lot of tofu.
How many grams are you
And-
taking a day?
Protein?
Yeah.
I think it has me at like 170, 160.
How much do you weigh right now?
Right now I weigh like
And
185.
you trying to cut or bulk?
I was 193 when I was freaking to D out and shit.
Are you trying to get bigger? Or
Yeah, I want to get big. I
shredded?
want to keep getting bigger long term. I
You
was
should-
120 pounds though,
The
like
thing
in
is, you're
high
on,
school.
you're on a mini cut right now, though.
Bro, yeah,
Yeah.
you should do more protein. Like
Yeah.
you should be at 200.
That's what I'm at right now.
How much peanut
200
butter
is
do you
not
want
hard,
him to
man.
eat?
Honestly, 200
Listen,
is
how
not
much
hard.
Are you
peanut butter
munching
does he
out
have
like
to
me?
eat for that?
But okay, you have to make sure not to eat processed foods. That's the hard thing.
Yeah.
Processed foods is what will fuck you way harder than eating like potatoes. Potatoes are actually good for
I
you.
have a lot of potatoes in my meal plan.
Yeah, he
And
does.
the aloo paronte.
Yeah, you get the fucking no. He gets me to put the potato. It's like super English though, because this guy's from England somewhere.
Yeah.
So he gets me to make the fucking potatoes and then put the English baked beans on there and cheese, and it's like the most bland UK meal ever.
But it works.
But like,
You know what you guys should do?
Mm.
Create another product, and we were talking about this earlier. I don't know if we got this on camera or not, but
Yeah.
create another product that
Mhm.
allows to pay for a meal prep lifestyle, so you never have to make food again. So
What do you mean? Like, so like a meal delivery service?
no, like just whatever business, but have that business cover your food now. Remember how I was saying have a business cover the travel expense? Have multiple businesses that'll cover different aspects of your lifestyle. That's what like even Harmozy guys are doing, right? Like
Basically what it is, so it's like you guys are doing your day-to-day tasks and
Yeah.
then have enough money in the fund that the meal prep and the food or the thought process behind getting jacked
Yeah.
isn't something that you take on. It's like the meals are prepped, they're ready, all you have to do is just eat them.
yeah,
And
like
like
that's it.
yeah, that's
if you
it.
look at Grant Cardone's life, like every portion of his life is handled. So the only thing that he has to do now is manage certain things, makes decisions.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time he spends with his family and they go on vacations and they do like whatever they want to do. They homeschool their kids. It's insane. Like they
Yeah.
have complete control over how their kids are being
Brought
brought up as opposed to like Canada where they're saying, yo, be transgender at the age of 6. And I brought that up.
Yeah, that's all good.
Well, it's tough is like why are they saying to promote this, right? Like
Yeah.
why is
Yeah.
the official saying to promote these types of things? It's like what is their agenda, right?
Yeah.
When kids are in such a formative age that they don't even know how to create social interactions, why are we making them question their identity? It's an issue of like, if they don't even know what they want to eat for lunch, why are we making them choose who they want to be right now? They need
Yeah.
guidance.
Yeah.
And when they reach that level of maturity, that's when they should be
I know
allowed
it's
to make the
facts. It's like
choice.
everything here in like Canada or fucking BC. It's like you have to be 18 or 19 to make any choice that actually influences you properly. Until then, it should
You
be
have to
your
wait
parents.
till you're
It's not even
18.
about fucking gender or being gay or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just about like kids probably can't make choices from the right state of mind until like 18, 19. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
okay,
and-
you got to be 16 to be able to drive a car, but you
Yeah.
could be 5 years old to say, I want to be a boy or a girl.
Here's
To
an-
do drugs,
yeah.
hold on, that's a drug,
Yeah.
right? It's a hormone. To inject hormones, you can be whatever age, things like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
to buy things like alcohol or even
Yeah.
weed now is like you have to be a certain age. But now they've completely got rid of the age to inject hormones into you, which is insane, right?
Yeah. You can't
It's
really-
almost it is permanent
exactly,
because
yeah.
a lot of that stuff is to the point of no return. That's why there's
Yeah.
so many lengthy
Could you
processes
change
to
and come
it.
back with zero effects? I don't think so.
It depends on the degree of it, right? Because some
Yeah.
people like they
You're
literally
you're chopping
they
it
get,
off.
or they get inverted.
If you're
or I don't
chopping it
know.
off, then obviously there's nothing coming. You're not getting back from that, right? Like I don't think you would. But if-
Regenerative growth. I don't know. There
It
might
is
be
sad,
some
though.
crazy
People
shit
are
in the
not
future,
lizards.
man.
There's
Yeah,
no
there's no-
regenerative
yeah, we're not, bro. What do you think I'm Piccolo?
I literally like have guy friends that
I will tell. I could tell. Okay, I'll tell you
think
guys
this is
some
you think
crazy
this is
shit
an anime, man? I'll
afterwards.
just grow my hand back or something.
the
Like,
fuck
come
kind
on,
of
man.
crazy shit is even a
Bro, I'll
regenerative
tell-
freaking.
There's regenerative.
Speed regeneration over here.
If girls take certain hormones,
Okay.
their body parts will start growing.
Like
Huh?
stem cells type shit or like
No, if they're taking tests, man.
Yeah,
They
it's
take just test.
But those
They
are
won't
already,
already grow.
becoming a
those are
man.
already pre-existing body parts. It doesn't
But they're
mean
growing into something that would not be pre-existing.
yeah, but if I start slamming estrogen, I'll probably get titties and shit too, right?
You will.
That's
Honestly,
crazy.
I haven't been down a rabbit hole, and so I used to do that like every single night.
Oh,
Now
I feel
when
like
I
people
go to
do that
bed,
on Adderall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but even when you just have high ADHD, like I feel like I'm not gonna go get a diagnosis for this that I have ADHD or whatever, but I feel like I know I have something that allows me to operate at a high level, think of like 20 different things at once,
Yeah.
which I don't see a lot of people do. But I want to use that as a superpower instead of like using it as like a crutch,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Or
know if
hindrance.
ADHD is as extreme as people say it is. I think it lines up pretty well with like the rise of like kids having iPads when they're like 6 years old and then just ripping that shit all the time instead of just like having a normal attention span.
But that's what it comes from. When you look at things like even TikTok, that
Yeah.
shortens people's attention span so
Of
much
course.
because they're scrolling.
Yeah, yeah, it
scrolling.
really
Well,
fucks you
ADHD
up.
Yeah.
Isn't ADHD?
I don't think you're born with it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is either, and I don't even think it's a thing that you can actually scientifically diagnose. I think it's based on behavior. You are then labeled with ADHD.
Yeah,
right. So it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like it's kind of like depression a lot of the times, right? I feel like depression, they go and diagnose you based on the actions. Is it affecting your daily life? Is it changing the way you're living your daily life or not? And then if it is, yeah, considered depressed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, those mental health issues are tough to deal with because is somebody actually feeling that? Sure, there is people that do, but is every single person saying that they do feel that, feeling that?
It takes away from the people that, I don't want to say valid and not valid,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm going to say it. People that have gone through huge life experiences, that shit just ruined their mental in the beginning and it disrupts their daily life, but they're dealing with it. That I can say truly is some sort of depression or phase that they went through. But people that are just using that because of what they see on social media and it's being publicized, propaganda, then saying that, oh, I have depression, but it's like, have you really dealt with anything?
yeah.
Imagine you have the
That's
kids,
true.
right? The kids, and they're just like weird kids. They don't want to be social. Then you say, oh, they have social anxiety, right? And the parents never put them in the positions to be social, to create those habits, like fucking
Exactly.
dogs, right? You take dogs to the dog park, they become socialized. Take your kids to the freaking play place and they'll become socialized.
That's true.
Same shit, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think of a lot of things, like especially like comparing like, okay, dogs to kids, definitely not the same thing, but you can compare marriage to business as well, right? It's not the same thing, but it kind of is.
And I will say, our parents, Punjabi parents, they might have smacked us to go and say hi to everybody here, or like go and like kis nu jappi or do this. We were like, I don't want to do it, and they would give us a backhand if we didn't. But it forced us to go out there and say hi and actually socialize and be extroverted, and then it helps you in the long run because you build relationships.
Yeah. No,
right?
that's true. That's a
Yeah.
big one. I feel
Yeah.
like getting your parents to put you out there. Another big one is just getting a shitty customer service job when you're like 15, 16, just getting lard out by random people taking their issues out on you.
comes in.
That shit
I
makes
did
you
it
a
too,
fucking
bro.
bunda too.
Where did you guys work?
Yeah.
I worked at Cineplex, so you
Yeah.
already know dealing with Star Wars night was horrible. First
Harry
of all,
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be completely honest. So like, Star Wars is one of those nights where you see the absolute like
The
just
creatures of
the
society.
creatures of society.
They come
Because-
wearing shit too, right?
No, here's the thing. I respect it because it's like, yo, you're a fan. I get
They
it.
have their
I get
swords.
it. I get it, right? But when you come up to the concession till on some, I need my popcorn right now, I'm gonna be late. I'm like, brother, like I'm popping the popcorn. You thinking I can just like shove this thing, like I can just like make
He's
this thing
waving
out
a
of the
lightsaber at you.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, like make it, bro. I'm like, what the hell, man?
What's the Harry Potter spell? Popping popcorn.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Dude, she made
Yeah.
me watch. I never watched Harry Potter in my life. I watched all movies in the last month.
That shit is magical, bro.
Dude,
It'll
I
change your
love her.
life.
You're a wizard,
Fucking-
Harry.
no,
Like
yeah.
that.
It
I
was
love
cool
it.
until I
Wow.
started dreaming about snakes and shit.
Yeah,
Like it was
really?
weird. Snakes started coming in my dreams, and I had to
Yeah.
fight
No,
snakes while I
dude,
was
The new
sleeping.
Percy Jackson's coming out. I'm gonna watch that for
I haven't
sure.
seen that.
That's a new like rerun on Disney.
That shit is important, dude. If you don't want your kids to be hardwired to think inside the box, I think all these fucking creative, wild ass sci-fi movies will just keep them creative.
No, I think honestly, dude, if my kids acted in that way, I wouldn't tolerate that.
Dude,
No, you shouldn't though.
I won't, bro.
I mean, like, yeah, I think
like-
we're just joking. I don't think anyone's gonna deck their kids.
No,
I will give him, like, you know how you tap a dog on the, okay, another analogy. You know how you tap a dog on his nose when he's doing something
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
It doesn't hurt him, but it tells
just-
him,
it's
like,
like
yo, don't fucking do that.
It's like it's an affirmative action, right? At the end of the day, it's showing them like, hey, like you shouldn't do this. Me personally, I would just take away everything that they value, so that they find enjoyment in, and then be like, if you want it back, like
Or put a
so
rubber
those
band
But
on them.
reinforce the consequence
Dude,
because
so
there's so
that's-
many parents that are like,
They just
I'm
start
gonna do
crying
this,
and
yeah,
then-
but they're gonna be like, oh, if you do this, I'm gonna take this away. Kid does it, but they don't take it away.
Yo,
That's
that
the problem.
fucking makes a kid thinks he runs shit,
Oh,
bro.
my
He
God.
knows he runs shit.
No, but I'm not gonna hurt him. Again, tap on the nose.
sound
No,
good.
no,
Tap
I
on
get
the
it.
nose.
Yeah,
This does
yeah,
not
yeah.
sound
You can have a good cop and a bad cop, but I think like still to this
He's
day, like
strictly bad cop.
I know.
What's good cop?
Yeah, he's like, I
That's
don't
why
know what that is.
she's the
good cop
nurturing
is
one.
like the mira googly woogly, the mira
that's
shota
gonna be
that
weird.
can never
That's
do
gonna be-
wrong.
Listen, I-
If he's not being a
Blah, blah.
dickhead, I will be nice to him. He'll get that side too.
Oh my god.
But you need the hammer.
Then,
Yeah.
then
kids
that
need
could
the
be
hammer.
like,
How dare you
"Aaja
go-
mera montu."
Yeah,
How dare you don't go to the gym today? How dare you eat that processed food in front of me?
I don't even think I'm gonna promote the gym. I think this is my strategy to make sure my kids lift. Right? I'm gonna do exactly what my dad did. I'm gonna have a bunch of propaganda magazines around the house.
Of just like jacked
Fitness
ass
people,
dude.
right?
Oh my
And I'm
God.
gonna go to the gym. I'm never gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just always be in a good mood when I come home.
Okay.
And he's gonna see, wow, this guy goes to the gym and then he's always happy after. You come home, then the kid's gonna be like, fuck, I should probably like
Hit the
do
gym,
some sort of exercise too. Then they'll feel the high that they get
It's a
from
reward.
exercising.
Yeah, because if you force the kid into doing something, they're never going to be willing to do it. But if you
Yeah.
kind of showcase the lifestyle of it, or
You
I mean,
can,
it's
yeah.
positive,
It's gotta be
and
their
it's fun,
buddy.
right?
Would you
Then-
put your kids on a diet?
Oh yeah.
I would.
I don't know.
100%.
Like I would just feed them good food if that's considered
okay,
a
if they
diet.
got
But like,
overweight-
That's what I mean. As well.
Yeah, you feed them good food.
So-
but you don't
also
make them
say,
feel like
hey,
you fucker, like you can't eat chips and shit.
Yeah,
Decide
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think just whatever they're home,
mean,
they're eating at home. You
You
give them good
can.
Listen, here's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
be
true
honest with you.
too.
When I went through what I went through, being like overweight, right? The bullying or whatever, I think it built a lot of character. Because if I didn't go through that, who knows? I might have not turned out the way I am now.
You probably
Right.
use that drive knowingly or unknowingly in your business every day.
You go on demon time.
100%,
Yeah,
always.
100%. I
Yeah.
use so many things from my past. I've had so many things like that I use whenever I'm feeling like a little bitch and I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
I've got so many things in the back of my head that
Like,
will make me
yeah.
go and work,
These
right?
fuckers, I don't believe in you and
Yeah.
shit. Right?
Man,
They didn't
it's
believe
so
in
No,
us.
you
bad.
could never make it, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
yeah.
No,
There's
but, like, it's just for
self-doubt.
fun,
There's
man.
days, there's specific days you remember that you're just like,
Yeah.
oh man, I remember at the gym, like fucking
Fuck.
just doing push-ups and there's just like tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
damn, it's like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit happening right now. When I got into all that debt,
Mm.
right, that was a freaking hard time. And I said like, yeah, if you can do it, it's great because you can come out a freaking G.
A
if
top
you can
dog
come
with
out,
a good story and character.
great story. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that builds like solid people, right?
Yeah.
100%.
I was talking to Ali on the way here. He was one of our agents partnered with us, and he kept getting no. He kept like, we went to the house after they said they wanted a CMA, and the husband came out and was like pretty much fuck off. He was a very rude guy, and I felt bad for him. But I'm like, listen, man, like, if you take every situation that is hard and you understand that God is only giving you hard situations so that you can grow from it and become a better person,
Yeah.
then there's no situation that will leave you sad. You just get more and more happy and
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
to
yeah.
become that strong version of yourself.
Yeah.
It's
You just
fucking,
feel-
it's an amazing like mindset to have.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I believe that what you said is completely correct. And I want to add to that as well, in the sense of, I feel like God will show you things in the toughest way possible to make sure you learn a lesson. I truly believe
Like
that
to
a lot
get you
of
to
times.
that point, and like if I just sit here and I'm like, yo, I want to run this big fucking 9-figure thing, I'm not built for this. What if I'm a kusa right now, right? Like the
Yeah.
universe is gonna give me challenges to throw me at and test me, and they're gonna give me the character to be that big dog,
Yeah.
and like actually be that guy.
You can't be that guy without that stuff. Otherwise, you're just like, look at the guy who wins the lottery, right? He loses it all.
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have the skills.
Yeah.
He
All
has,
right,
Like,
be
do
the
all
guy.
these big guys have, like, are these big tech people, these big influencers, millionaires, multimillionaires, are they doing it just by working an hour a day in their house, being
Yeah.
sheltered, not
No.
putting themselves out there? And I believe
No
that
way.
people that are sheltered and don't have those life experiences are the ones that complain. They
Yeah.
don't really care, and
But
then
if-
they're gonna be like, okay, well, I didn't get there because
X,
so-
Y, and Z.
Yeah,
right?
but it's
exactly,
like, dude, you God actually put you in positions to do it.
To do whatever, man.
Yeah.
to
if
be
you look
destiny.
at the toughest lessons that you've learned, though, God will always give you warnings before.
Exactly. You know what it is?
Right.
This is what I found.
foreshadowing's real.
This is
It's
what,
huge.
yeah,
get real.
this is the funniest thing I heard actually from a different podcast. God will give you the answers and then the test.
Yeah.
Right?
I heard that podcast too.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
So he'll give you the answers, then
Very
the
good
test.
podcast.
Very good podcast.
Yeah.
But the essence of it is very true, because you know you will see the signs. But the problem is with us as human beings is we choose to take the hardest path, and then we're rewarded with the hardest outcome, right?
We don't
We-
learn, man. We don't
no.
learn.
And then we don't learn, and that's the problem when people are so heads. Like, you know what it is? I feel like a lot of people think that I'm too good to see the signs,
Or it's not gonna happen to me.
or it's not.
It
Gonna
can
happen
never happen to me.
Or
and
you
then-
get away with
Yeah.
it, and
Or
you
you
just,
get away with it
oh
once or
yeah, I got
twice.
away with it, right?
Exactly. You keep getting away with it, and then you build up this
Yeah.
like thing in your head of like, I can get away with it, and I will continue getting away with
Yeah.
it, and then you get struck down.
It's an
Okay, well, I don't
invincibility
know.
complex.
Then it hits you like a truck.
That confuses me though.
How?
Because I feel like when you're rocking it and you're sending and you're believing in yourself, you might have red flags and you're like, okay, I could run all this shit over and overcome it, and then you will overcome it. But like, how can you tell between what's that and what's just a sign that you're gonna fucking fail?
No, but that's
Like,
the thing.
that
Having,
just blurs
having,
that whole thing.
having unwavering belief in yourself is one thing, right? But then also recognizing and understanding different pathways is another thing.
I think if we talk about if you're doing something wrong, for example,
Yeah,
somebody
and
who
something wrong.
constantly every weekend drink and drives, right? They know it's wrong, but they're
Oh,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah,
caught.
yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
get a DUI, and then they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did I do to my life, right?
Yeah, or
Like,
someone that's like, I want to start this startup, but then every single weekend goes to party instead,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? And
yeah.
then like 10 years pass, and like, why have I not gotten anywhere in my life?
But that's the thing.
But
You
that guy
can't
doesn't want
bitch
it.
if you're not doing what,
Yeah.
like, everybody knows what to do. Show up on
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your work. Call your leads. Do the back end business stuff that you need to do. Everybody knows in their specific businesses what they should be doing. But
Yeah.
if you aren't doing it and you're complaining, you're a bitch.
That's facts, yo. That's
Not
a fucking-
everybody can hack it. Like I know
Yeah.
people that social media is the biggest false belief. So
Oh,
you'll look at it
100%.
and be like, this person has A, B, and C. I can do it. I want to do it. But when they see what it actually takes to get there, they can't handle. They can't come into work on time every day. Like for us, we have a development right now. We're dealing with that 24/7. That's why my parents don't see me. I get home at 2 a.m. I leave the house at 7 a.m. 6:30.
Fuck, I feel that, man.
Yeah, man.
But if we fuck off right now, like we're on the brink of something that is a massive opportunity for our businesses. And if we don't do everything that we need to be doing right now, and then we look back and think that we had this opportunity but we didn't seize it, why didn't
It's
we
a
do
regret,
that?
and it's something that you're gonna always look back on and be like, why didn't I? Because it could have opened so many more doors for you as well, right?
Exactly.
And you can take it easier later on. I always feel that, you should have a good balance, right? You should definitely have a good balance, like, work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people sometimes either take one extreme point or take the other.
You cannot work hard, play hard when you're in the work hard phase, though.
That's
the
what
thing.
people mess up.
Yeah.
You can't just like be like, okay, I'm gonna work for a week straight and then take 3 weeks off.
Like I
a
know,
lot of times
like,
you can't do that, right?
No, and there's people that are like, oh, you work so much, or like you guys can't take a day break, or you can't do this. And it's like those hours that I bank to talk to you guys or hang out with you guys, like I am taking it very seriously because we have a million things on the back burner right now. And when I start explaining it, like, oh, we have A, B, C, like all the way up till Z, they're like, whoa, okay, like relax, like we know you're busy, but it's like just because you can't comprehend it and deal with it doesn't mean that like we're treating you as less important, right?
It can go one of two ways. They can be like that, or they can be like fucking sick. I also got this.
Yeah, there's like types of people.
But I feel like a lot of times it's never like that. You want to know why? Because people will start being like, but you don't need to do that. But you don't need to do that. And then it's always those people that will try to be like, why are you doing so much at this point or whatever? And why don't you make time for us? But people don't realize that, hey, like I'm doing this because I know that I have a bigger picture that I need to paint.
Yeah. Fuck though. I don't know. I like how Hermosi puts it sometimes.
Yeah.
He's like, when people are like, yo, why the fuck do you feel like you need to be so successful? Like, what are you going to get by like having $1 billion? Yeah. And he's like, dude, if I loved playing fucking Fortnite, I'd just be playing Fortnite all the time. But I just love the game of life. He's like, no matter what you do, you're going to be forgotten about in 200 years. You're going to be dying and be underground. The only thing is like, you can just die and do something great and leave a story and be like, yo, one thing he said is so sick. He's like, on my grave, even though I'm gonna cremate it, right? But he's like, on my grave, he's like, I wanted to say like this guy died with nothing left to give. So you do something fucking huge and you give some shit to the world and you call it a day, dog. But it's like, you don't have to be like, I realized like at one point I was so fucking alpha hard work that I stopped understanding just like your average Joe. But then I realized, dude, you need people like that too, because not everybody.
You
need those people. They hold up the fucking world too in their own way.
Yeah. Dude, who's gonna wash
who's
the
gonna
cars?
clean the dal in the bank?
There's certain things.
Like,
but
shout
people
out,
love
bro.
that
Like,
if that brings them happiness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the
But
thing.
do you guys ever feel like you're like? Do you guys run around a lot in your guys' day-to-day business life?
Yeah,
like
I run around.
errands and doing things and having
We're both
money?
like kotte, man.
So same. But don't you ever feel like you're in GTA when you're doing shit like this?
Okay, you want to talk about the Tesla? How you do it your Tesla? Like this guy's in GTA.
But fucking, it's inadmissible.
It's
'cause this is just
inadmissible,
my
though.
comedy act of the day.
It's a what?
This is
This is-
inadmissible.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, cool.
My comedy act of the day is that my 1 hour and a half commute to Vancouver every day. I just realized that I can just put the car on autopilot and read a book.
Yeah.
Because audiobooks I'll zone out and do random shit. But I fucking needed 3 hours of my day back, dude. Like I couldn't.
Jesus, that's intense, bro.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like I fucking safety first. I don't recommend to anyone else.
Yeah.
But don't you have to stop at red lights?
Yeah.
Brother, we don't want to get into
No, but like
this.
when you go when you're rocking GTA, when you're rocking a GTA style and you're just fucking like, I can't just sit there for like an hour and a half and have nothing to do. Even at the gym, because now when you work out plan, the fucking workout like 2 hours. I'm like, bam. So if I listen to Drake for 2 hours, I'm feel like a lulu. Like I have
You
to
work out for 2 hours?
like an hour and a half now. an hour.
Jesus.
My workout's about an hour and 15.
Bro, I've dropped it to like 45 an hour now.
But that's if we do a single muscle group.
But that's the thing. Work
And no
out every
cardio.
single day and just do single muscle groups.
I do push.
Yeah, that's true
pull-ups,
too.
Yeah.
Because then you know what? You
Yeah.
get the high. For me, like personally, I get like the high from working out. So I kind of like going every day anyways. Like I don't like a rest day. I kind of don't look forward to it. My day never goes good on a rest day.
In the summer, our rest days were active rest days. Go on a hike, go for a walk, go.
That's
like,
sick.
boating,
Yeah, we
did
go
all-
like,
All your
what's the other
steps in.
thing? Paddleboarding?
We got lucky, okay? Because like finding somebody, I work out a lot. I've been working out a lot, and he works out a lot. Finding somebody that has that bond or that connection is very hard. Like, and if you have a partner that doesn't do it as much as you or doesn't care, like I have friends when I was trying to lose weight or trying to get more tone, like I wouldn't eat the same way. Like I was not eating any carbs. I was eating rice. I was eating certain types of protein. They're like, oh, like you can't have a chip. I was like, no, I can't have a chip. And like he told me, or he put me on like cans of tuna. He's like,
Really?
eat a can
Bro,
of
these
tuna.
mini cans of tuna,
Yeah.
they're flavored, so you don't need to mix anything in it.
Cat food.
Yeah,
dude,
but literally,
fuck yeah, cat
it's we
food.
open
I'm
a
a dog,
can, have
dude.
some
I'm a dog.
crackers, and that's like 32. If you have 2 cans, it's 32 grams of protein. And
So you- and you
my
put it on
parents are like,
crackers?
"What are you
Yeah.
doing?" My sister's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You know what? If it works, it works." But if you don't have somebody on the other end supporting you,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna.
I
Build
think
that
if you're into
success.
fitness in that way and your partner's not into fitness in that way,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work.
You know, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I low key got my girl into fitness, and like
Yeah.
I'm kind of
How'd
like,
you do it?
How did
She
I do
wasn't
it?
into it.
She was into it to an extent, but not too much. But then she just like saw. I think she just saw me get into it, like or how much I was into it. And then she kind of just started asking me questions about working out and like dieting and stuff. Now she's like taking it more seriously, right?
Nice.
I'm
You
not
know
gonna
what?
be like oh, I fully put her on, because ultimately that's her effort and stuff that she's putting in. But I do. I'm happy that like I kind of influenced her in that way.
But that's a really good trait of hers that she just showed
Yeah.
to you.
Mhm,
Like the
100%.
fact that she took on something that you find importance of.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of people don't understand that in relationships is like if your partner is not taking to something that you take to, you don't have to be everything the same.
Of course, yeah.
But if there's something that's very serious in their life and they don't understand it or they don't even care to understand it,
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be a problem.
I
That's
think
gonna be a
it's
fucking problem.
respecting the values. Like you could be two very different people, but if she sees okay, you go to the gym. It's like even if she didn't agree what she does now, but it's
Yeah.
like I respect that you have that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to disrespect your value or your belief.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna allow you to do that.
But then she's
I'm
gonna
still
start getting
have it.
insecure. Oh my god, what are you doing at the gym? Why are you there for 2 hours? What girls are you talking to and how much they lift and blah blah
How
blah.
did you guys meet?
How'd you guys meet?
Oh, our story's kind of a little bit long and convoluted.
Okay, that's okay.
Let's get
It's
into
up
it.
to you
man.
how no, it's up to you how deep you want to go into.
Yeah, you don't have
that.
to go too deep if you don't want to.
We don't
can
need the
go
whole
deep, I don't
sake.
mind. It's
We
not
can
that
save that
big.
for the wedding.
No.
Hey guys, yo, we're gonna
Basically,
pull up this
Yeah.
we met in real estate. I had a listing and she wanted to buy it and I wouldn't sell
didn't
it to
wanna
her.
buy
You
it.
met her on the job?
No, so we had a client that was looking, and
wanted-
then
Everywhere's leads, bro.
yeah.
Everywhere's leads.
Yeah.
Dude, our first date,
You
he
just
put-
gotta
he
walk
put
around.
a sales thing on me. Okay,
I
was
closed her,
talking
giving her
about it.
option close.
But in
That's what it
2021,
does.
yeah, in
Go ahead, tell
2021,
the
we
story.
were talking. We had a buyer that went to look at a property,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was his listing. I was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, I got a client," and so I went to the showing. He wasn't there. Client went to look at it a second time. I
Yeah.
didn't go the second time. He went the second time.
Yeah.
So we never saw each other. And then I called him after the showing, and I was like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, you didn't come. Like, how'd it go?" I was like, "Yeah, it was okay." And I was like, "They need a couple days." He's like, "Oh, we're taking it off the market, right?" I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "We're dropping the price." I was like, "Sounds good." I was like, "I'll keep an eye on it." This guy puts the house back on the market, ups it 30K in price. I was like, dude.
And when I got the
like-
call from her,
Holy
I think the
shit.
first or the second time when she called me about the listing,
Yeah.
I hung up the phone. I was like to my partner, I'm like, dude, this girl sounded so cute. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I want to go to this showing. And I
yeah.
just couldn't make it happen. I just had so many things going on. So I just couldn't
Yeah.
make it happen. But yeah, we upped the listing and never sold. It's all good.
Yeah.
But that
Stop
listing
talking.
is very important to me now because
Yeah.
it allowed me to connect with her. Then later on in life, we connected through social media and whatever.
Instagram, literally.
Yeah,
So-
just
and-
through that.
Yeah.
But if we met at that time, we both wouldn't have even been able to manage a relationship.
We weren't ready. And
We
we,
were not
talk
ready.
about that. We think about that. And it's like the experiences I went through after,
Yeah.
that built me as a person to deal with him and the experiences that he brings. Everybody has baggage.
Yeah, of
Everybody
course.
brings
Yeah,
something.
that's
The
facts.
older you get, you're going to have baggage. You're going to have
100%.
experiences that shape you. What it is different for everybody and looks different for everybody. But are you willing to accept your partner's baggage, value it, and use it so you guys can actually create a successful relationship? That's what counts. There's so many couples that divorce or
Just judge the baggage and they
Judge,
can't get
yeah.
past
You got to
it.
understand the
Yeah.
baggage, right? You
Yeah.
have to, I think you really have to understand the baggage. If you can really understand the baggage and how you can use that
Yeah.
baggage as a complementary thing instead of something that's going to detriment.
Keep thinking about
to
like
the
dates now. Like,
Yeah.
baggage. Someone, I used to work at the
So it
airport. I was
depends, like, how far did people go? Did
You're
you go to
taking Indiana
Toronto or
down-
did you
You're
go to
Dubai.
India?
Holy.
how many seats?
How many touches you
I
carry?
think a lot of
Been around the world, bro.
Yeah.
Been around the world.
You know what's funny?
Twice.
You know what's funny? So I have two things I actually wrote down that I wanted to touch on. This, I'm actually happy that we got to this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Is the fact that what do you think is like a key in maintaining a successful relationship, though? Because this is like a very varied question for a lot of people because everyone has their own take on it. I'll give you mine and then I'll ask you for yours. But I think that when you actually like truly love someone, you'll do things out of just the care, like just because you want to, right? And you'll accept the flaws instead of the just the good, right? And I think when you get to that point, you're kind of set. But I think that's where I'm at with it.
Will you go first?
I think you have to clear the baggage and understand your own baggage.
'Kay.
And then you have to enter the relationship with a clear plan, just how you enter a business with a clear plan, and you create a business plan, and you understand what is required of each one another, and you discuss that, and you meet regularly to update that. I think when you start treating it like that, then it makes it a lot easier. I don't know if it's going to make it the most successful, but it definitely makes it a lot better, in my opinion.
Some people argue with that and be like, oh, then that's not a relationship. You guys are really robotic in that sense, right? But it's like, if you're communication, if you're communicating regularly, and Jordan Peterson said this, if you guys are getting into an argument or something happens, and it comes from a lack of communication. So say a guy comes home from work and he doesn't explain he had a long day or something happened. She's coming from the angle of like, oh, I have so much other things I have to say to him. He didn't notice this. And then he's coming, oh, I had such a long day. He doesn't even notice that she did something.
Yeah, that's
And
facts.
then you get into a fight.
Yeah.
He says, assume the other person is dumb. So then it's like, I'm assuming you're dumb, or if he's dumb, then it's like, I have to tell him everything that's on my mind, or I have to tell him in chronological order that makes sense to him. And then he knows what's happening with me. And then the argument will start subsiding because we've actually talked it through.
And if you identify a problem in your partner and you can articulate that, and they try to fix, give them multiple times to try to fix. Even if you give them 10 times to try to fix it, but they're making active efforts towards fixing it, 10 times in the lifetime that you guys are going to be together, where you might do it 10 million times, that same situation, is not relatively a large amount of times for them to mess that up. Right?
Okay.
So having the patience and having the ability to articulate, topped with communication, I think is probably the key, right?
Yeah, and I think it's there's always blame that's tossed around. You didn't do this. Oh, you didn't pick up the dishes. You didn't pick up
language is very, very dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like how you did this. It's, hey, like the clothes there weren't picked up. You know, sometimes that makes me feel like there's so much stuff everywhere. Can we do it together? Or like, hey, those words that were used didn't make me feel good or made me kind of upset. Like that's a mean way to say it or something. If you can format it, because when you're saying you said this, it's like,
an attack.
it's an attack.
It's
so
a
the
personal-
person's on the defense, right?
Yeah. And it's natural, right? It's human instinct to be like, why am I being blamed for something that I don't even feel like I did wrong? Right?
Yeah, that's true. You can't be having that aggressive language. Not even aggressive. It's like low key.
Like low
Like
key.
if I'm having a good day, I'll be like, oh fuck it, like you can't, right? Like I don't do nothing, right? But if I'm having a bad day, just that like you did this might trigger me. And it's just like if you know the person so well.
Imagine a dude. Imagine an average dude deals with a shit job, right? They're always like complaining, oh, I hate work, I hate my friends, blah blah blah. They come home, they already had a shit day, and now their wife is coming bitching like, yo, you didn't take the garbage out, you didn't do this, right?
I asked you to go get this or something.
How great of a life is that, right? It's not really a great
But that's
life.
unfortunate because a lot of people deal with that on a day to day and they just put up with it. I feel like guys put up with that a lot though, because they're just
It's unfortunate that they don't change their circumstances, but I think most people are able to change their circumstances. They just don't.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that women don't also put up with a lot of bullshit too, because they do as well, right? But I feel like you're right though. Communication is so important, but it's one of those things where everyone understands it's important.
They don't do it though.
But they don't do it.
Yeah. And
right?
then when you're put in that position, like you would think that girls are more communicative. When we started dating, he was talking more than me. I would just be quiet.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
I'd be
feel
like,
you.
he's like,
Oh,
oh, like
man.
say something. Like what's on your mind? I'm like
I don't know.
literally, I was like,
I
nothing.
spent a
like
lot
nothing's
of
on my
time.
mind, right?
Yeah.
I like before I met her too, I went to Europe for a month, but that whole year of last year, I spent a lot of time assembling my thoughts and assembling my core belief system and assembling what I want for the next 50 years of my life. And I thought about a lot. So I had a lot to say, but I had it all bottled up. Right.
Yeah.
So when I met her and I was like, fuck, okay, I can actually see myself being with this person. I'm like, let's talk about it all. And I was like trying to get everything out of her. She's like, dude, chill. Like, I just met you. Why are you asking me how many kids I want? Right. I'm like, yo,
It wasn't even
to get
that.
to
It was
it, I
like,
have a
oh,
plan.
like, it wasn't even that. It was like, okay, a week into it, like, I need to know everything about you. I need to know your
Wait,
whole
was
path.
that
It was
him?
more
It
so
was
that.
him.
It
And
wasn't
I'm
about
like,
the
pre-screen.
listen,
It was
like,
more so like I want to
dude.
know if you're legit or not.
How
I
old,
wanna
how
move
old
on.
are you guys?
The
Matt?
TSA pre-check.
26.
Honestly, I don't blame you for that to an extent. To an extent, I
What?
don't, like because sometimes when you get older, as you get older, those
You
are
don't
the
got
questions.
time to waste.
Yeah, you don't got time to
I
waste.
don't
You're like,
typically
listen.
do
Yeah,
that.
let's
though.
get into the shit now.
I wouldn't typically do that though,
Yeah.
but I saw so much potential in her. I'm just like, yo,
Damn.
this is too good to be true. I don't give a shit if I'm gonna ruin it by doing this because
Bro.
I don't give a shit. But I'm just gonna ask you everything. If you stick around, dope. If not, all right.
You know what it
You
was?
know what? That's good
It
though.
was-
Confidence.
Yeah, and
Because bro, like you can't be coming from a scarcity place when you're trying to date.
No.
You can't. No, you have
Yeah,
to.
otherwise
No,
you're,
you can't, because then you're just gonna be living in worry and fear, and then you'll get
then you're
someone and
gonna
you'll still
become a
be in fear.
yeah, you're gonna do whatever she says. You're gonna
Yeah.
like
It was-
You're not gonna be on that baller shit. You're not
You're
gonna be like living your best
You're always
life.
gonna be bending.
You're gonna be like, "Pento,
always
just
bend. You
tiempo,
can't bend
tiempo."
all the time.
Yeah, you have to. You know what
You
it
gotta
is.
bend sometimes.
You have to. Both of you have to bend. Both of you have to bend a knee. I think that's what people
Yeah.
also mess up, because a lot of guys will get too scared to like say anything, because like, oh, the girl's gonna leave, and then sometimes the girl will just be like, yo, if I try to say something, I'm just gonna get yelled at. So it's like a
Exactly, it's a
Yeah.
teeter tot, right?
it's here to
but
talk.
it's
but-
sorry, go ahead.
Go.
I will say, like, if each person in the relationship feels so safe,
Yeah.
there always has to be a aspect of, you know what, we are growing.
Yeah,
if you don't
exactly.
have fear of losing that person, then you're never gonna bring anything to the relationship. When things get too safe and people get too safe in it, then they start going off and doing their own things. You have to be
Yeah.
really putting yourself out there for that person, saying, I'm working on A, B, and C, and they're working on A, B, and C for you guys to come together.
I feel like you both have to chase each other to an extent,
100%,
right? Because the
yeah.
moment you stop, then you're just like, yo, man, this relationship's done.
Yeah.
But what would a guy say to that a girl wouldn't agree to if you think of relationships like this? You have two separate people and
Yeah.
the relationship is a separate entity. So it's essentially a corporation, right? So when you're making decisions, and that's what typically couples discuss is and get over fights on, is the decisions that they're making. So if the man or woman can explain that this decision is positive for that corporation, which is the marriage, then why wouldn't we do it that way? Right?
It's how you say it, though.
It's always how you word it.
Yeah.
It is. It
And
is.
it's also the action behind it too, right?
Yeah.
Because the problem is, if you say one thing and do another thing, that's gonna always result in a downward spiral.
But both people have to come at it with no egos.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
ego is what kills it.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I saw a quote from someone on believe it was on Instagram. It was, why do people wait to get out of a relationship to start improving themselves? You get out of a relationship, people go to the gym, put on that extra cologne, dress a little nicer to go get someone else.
Yep.
I feel like the grass is always greener where you water it. So if you're waiting to just go on the other side of the fence, you're starting barren waste field. Why do you do
Yeah,
that?
that's true.
And I think, and that's the
It's
problem.
always like how people are wired, though. It's
Yeah.
like the
But
value
here's-
of something's higher when you don't have it, and it's fucked. You have to unprogram yourself out of that. 'Cause that's how
Yeah.
a relationship is.
But if you think about it, like people get comfortable because the other person accepts mediocrity at a certain point, right? You guys slowly start going back to average, right? If you guys don't push yourselves in that relationship. But it's not always that relationships you get worse off. In our relationship, we actually both got better off. We excelled in our careers more. Our fitness excelled in a different type of way. We were able to integrate more into our families. Like there was a lot of positive things. I don't think we went negative, but we did for a certain, like maybe a couple of days or a week or whatever, but we checked each other. We're like, yo, like we're not going to the gym as often as we need to. Like let's
Or
get
we're
back
not
to it.
spending time out of the business or out of the family by ourselves. Like
Yeah.
quality time is a thing, and we spend a lot of time together.
That's good.
We work together. We go to the gym together. We hang out together. Our families are integrated. So it's like when you're spending a lot of time, then you forget, you put on so many hats, you forget that, oh, we're actually together on our own and we came separately. We need to spend time on our own. Because if you don't have that space to breathe by yourself and actually hang out and be goofy, go get food, go skating. We went skating the other day at Robson. And it was like, if you don't have those moments alone, you're going to lose yourself in all the other shit. That stuff will always be there. If you guys aren't solid as a unit together, like you will end up like going in a spiral. Guys have this really big thing of we're always grinding. We're always going to like our business, our family, our goals. And then no matter what, there's never any hard feelings like, hey, how's it going? Girls will take things a little bit more personally. They'll get a little bit more defensive. I feel like they do have a little bit
They
of
have
a chip
nothing
on
else
their-
going on, man.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
like,
a
so
lot
when
of them
the-
don't have a lot going on.
Because I hate to say in today's society, like girls are more so now looking for a guy to be the provider and like be that person. So they have time on their hands. And
Well,
when
they
have
don't
friends,
need to. A lot of
Yeah.
them don't need to. The only thing they need to do is post on social media and get famous, right? So a lot of them don't really need that aspect of like, oh, let's work hard, let's work 8 to 12 hours. Some of them do, she does, which is great. But a lot of them, honestly, to get on a yacht, me and you, it takes a lot of effort. To get on a yacht, a pretty girl takes barely any effort.
But if
right?
I
You
want
have
to do it
own
the
that
same
yacht as
way
a
that
guy.
you do it, it's gonna take me
Then
twice as long.
that's gangster though. But that's so much cooler, right?
And I think girls that are in business or trying to freelance or create their own empire will be like guys. They'll be like, hey man, or like I have a friend now, like she's an actor or actress, and she was doing gigs. Her parents are in LA. She was working here, and she's been bouncing back and forth. And her and I used to talk every single day last year, and now we fell off. And then I literally just FaceTimed her like 2 days ago. She's back in town, and I'm like, how have you been? She's like, oh my God, so much has happened. Like, we need to hang out, like just go for a coffee. And I'm like, same. I was like, I missed you. Like, you've been doing your thing. I've been doing my thing. And I was like, let's go for coffee.
Yeah.
On the flip side, there's people that are like, oh, like just passive aggressive. Like, oh, you've been so busy. And it makes you feel bad. Like, oh, like,
fuck
dude,
those people, man.
Yeah.
Legit, man.
And
Well,
it's
you
like,
have new
dude,
friends now.
Leave
it's
them on
like,
scene
I
every
work with
time.
those people.
That's like WhatsApp archive right there. Like, fuck that.
And it's like,
literally.
oh, like you're too busy for me now, or like, oh, like you can't take a break for a day, or like, you know, like there's always gonna be work. And I agree, but at the same time,
Dude, I don't even see my mommy, daddy. Like, you want me to
literally,
fucking go out and
like,
take you out
my
and
mom
shit?
is the light in my house is always on inside. So the light is her indicator. Has Roger come home yet? And
So, dude,
so then it's like
Yeah.
2
That's
a.m.
insane.
and then I'll get a call. She's like, God, I am like, I'm coming.
you're
Like,
exposing yourself
yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
Actually,
I
expose it.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
dude, it's the cost of it, and it's like if you
is
can
the
see
cost.
it, some people can't see it.
I
That's
call,
the thing.
I
Yeah.
called,
They can't see
I
it.
called that friend after not talking to him to literally 6 years. That's why I said
Why
6
you're
years.
6 years?
And I invited him to a
goddamn.
massive party, and we were like, "Yo, like I know we haven't spoken in a long time, but important event. I want you there. Love's still there. We just had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-minute conversation. Good to go.
Yeah,
With-
but that's
with
how
a guy?
guys operate.
Yo,
bro.
that's sick.
That's
That's how
just
guys
60
operate.
yeah.
Think about it this way: we didn't start the pod.
You just turn that shit back on.
Yeah.
You flip the switch
We
back
didn't-
on.
And we
you
were
walk in.
best friends. Like
Yeah.
before elementary school, because he
Yeah.
lived
Yeah.
next to me.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's my boy. Like I love him, but it's just like we have a lot of shit going on in life.
Yeah.
And we're not doing the same things right now.
Yeah.
We can still hang out and grab like a drink or whatever, right? It's
Yeah, yeah.
Mucho.
we just got to make time.
I think because girls really like to socialize and talk, and when they create that label of this is my best friend,
Yeah.
they have in their mind it might be I need to talk to this person every day.
More often.
I need to
Yeah.
do all this to make us continue being
But
best
it's
friends.
also because your guys, a
right?
lot of your guys' conversations are accessory conversations.
yeah, like a lot of times
I don't
those
call my
relationships
friends
are
and just
gossip.
be like, "Yo, what's up?
Yeah,
like
they're
That's
what are you
true.
doing?
Yeah.
True.
How's the TV shows that you're watching? I don't
Dude,
really
one
do
time
that.
I said, Ekti was like, what would you do if I just messaged you and I was like, how are you? I'd be like, bro, did your fucking girlfriend break up with you?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. Like, why are you calling me? Like, is there a business deal here? Like, are we doing something?
If I said,
Yo,
love you,
man.
porn, and
Yo,
shit,
man.
like,
The
I
fuck?
understand
Once in a
that
while, I'll
shit.
text the homies and just
Yeah,
be like,
bro.
yo, I appreciate you. But I won't go on to be like, hi, how are you? How are
Yeah,
things?
Yeah. No, me neither. Okay, dude, I
then
honestly
they're like,
thought
"Are
it was
you
just
okay?"
me.
Like-
I thought it was just me.
This isn't just you. This is
He's
all
like,
of
can't
us.
riz
This is
up
all-
guys.
This is more. No. What you said?
Like,
Riz up guys.
yeah, like I can't riz up like my guy friends, like my bros and shit. Like I can't. The most I can be like is, yo, are you fucking coming to the Gurdwara tonight? Like that's it.
No,
Yeah.
I can tell my boys I love
Yo,
them. I'll
am I
give them a
gonna see you in
hug.
the London Hall tonight?
Yeah.
You see that London Hall today, bro? We got some shy for you going right now.
Yeah.
That's his form of, that's his love language.
his
No,
love
that won't chill it.
Hey, he's
won't
not
chill it
gonna
and
call
shit.
you when there's dal in the London Hall.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
You're the kid spilling it in the back.
You know what's funny that you mentioned too? It's like I told you off the pod, but Mana, but I didn't talk for like 5-6 years before we started the pod.
Yeah,
I just
dude.
texted this guy once. I was like, let's start a pod. And then
Dude,
we
I asked this guy to Starbucks. I still remember this. You guys know the Good Life Fitness in Abbotsford?
Yeah.
And there used to be a Starbucks there. I don't
In
know
the
if it's
corner
still
of that
there.
plaza,
So
yeah.
I asked this guy there, right? And I remember like we hadn't talked in like 5 years because I went to a different school too. And I was like asking him, I was like, yo, so what do you want to order from Starbucks? And he's like, bro, I don't drink coffee. Like I work out and shit. Like, I don't know the Starbucks shit. And I was like, yo, what the hell?
Did
am I-
you think he was a little like, what did you
he
think
got
that
water.
situation was? I would
don't-
think he's like, this is like a first date.
I fucking tripped out.
I would feel like this is a, bro, he's asking you what you want. This is how our first date was.
Yeah.
There's a
Like,
coffee
okay,
appointment.
it's like we're gonna talk business, right? Like, how do you raise up a client when you take them out of coffee? Like, you probably
I
ask them
don't.
what
I
they
put him
want
on a
and shit.
FaceTime or
Yeah,
a Zoom
facts,
call,
man.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, do you want to buy it or no? Like,
Fuck,
how can we
I was
help
like,
you?
man.
I was like being classy, bro.
So,
Can you respect
yo,
that I'm trying to be classy?
How was
and
your
shit?
first date?
My first date with who?
With are you in a relationship right now?
Freshly out of one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
on
Jeez.
demon time right now.
Oh
fucking,
my
it's all
God.
good. That's how you
This guy's on demon time.
What do your
starting the
days consist
business.
of?
My days, what? When I
Yeah.
was in a relationship,
No, like
right
as a
now?
single man. Like
Right now it's fucking hustling like
sponsored by Vanita.
hustling like a kutta. Hustling
Are
like
You know what's that's funny though? So like, yeah, I remember I ordered water and this guy's like,
I was like,
"Oh,
what
you
the fuck?"
changed so much," and I'm like, "Oh, did I?" And then like we just had like a whole catch up conversation. I don't know. I have a lot of love for Mandov now, especially like after we've been working together. But even our conversations now, it's like we'll just be bitching at each other.
So
like,
business
half the
brought you
time.
guys together.
yeah.
That's the best type of relationship
But we're
because
like
now you have a
bros, yeah.
common
Yeah.
goal.
We're like
right?
bros now.
You
like,
fucking
we'll-
work hard,
Yeah.
you fuck around for a bit, and you call it a day every time. But you have to get get the work done first. He's that type of guy.
So I was in LA in a sauna in a very nice gym. Like
Oh.
my one day, pass.
In the sauna.
Hear me out. My
All
one
the
day
ladies
pass.
listening,
And he's
imagine
talking
that.
about first dates to you.
Yeah. You.
It was a
my
first
God.
date, but no.
Who you meet in the sauna?
So, anyways, it was like a really,
You can ask the questions now.
it was a bougie gym.
When did you go?
It was a bougie gym, and these guys, like, it was. I like going to bougie gyms in places like that because I always run into people that expand my perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I'm down to spend $100 on a day pass. It is what it is. I'd rather do that than spend $100 in the
I'm the
bar.
same way.
Yeah, it's a better investment. So, anyways, I'm in the sauna, and these three dudes, like Chad-looking dudes, right? Just these three white dudes,
Like
right?
straight nunge and shit.
Yeah, they were, and they were just like
You see
slick
the
back
shit?
hair. It
I
was just
can
like the
understand.
funny. It looked like
Speedos
Wolf of
and
Wall
shit.
Street.
You're talking
right?
about the racquetball game they had.
Yeah, they squash or some shit.
Yeah.
You know those guys are rich,
They're
man.
talking about some shit, and I'm just like, I butt into the conversation, and you don't know. Sometimes they're racist, sometimes they're not. But I always go into
Yeah.
the conversation, whatever. They're good people. So I'm like, yo, like, what do you guys do? They're like, oh, we found companies. Like they go and create companies, and then they get it up to a point where they can sell it. They sell it, they rip it for 5 months, and then they go back to the drawing board and create another company.
so
So
they
like
just buy it.
apps and things like that.
Just love
No,
the
they
grind.
create the softwares, they create
Startups.
the businesses,
okay.
Yeah,
startups, and then they sell the startups, rip it, and then head down again.
Yeah,
Three
yeah,
dudes,
yeah.
best
That's
friends.
sick.
I mean,
I'm
that's
like,
pretty sick.
so sick, dude. If you can find, I've always
It's like the Avengers.
yeah, dude.
together.
It's,
Oh,
you
fun.
guys
The
could do that.
Chads, man.
You guys could
The
do that.
Chads.
You
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
just
yeah.
being bros, like starting businesses.
No, me and Nick, you will. Yeah.
Don't worry,
100%.
man. You're gonna see us in 5
Jasmine.
years, and you're gonna be like, holy shit,
Jasmine
it's not
too.
the same podcast.
Yeah,
This is
Jasmine.
Avengers.
Jasmine's
Why are
in
you
the
guys
guys.
leaving her out of this?
No,
Avengers.
Jasmine's in this with us. Yo,
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
need a proper like life manager, and Jasmine's gonna be that for us too.
Hey, we're gonna talk about horoscopes. What's your star
Jasmine's got a
sign?
good radar.
Oh, okay, so I got you. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, you're a Gemini.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Horizon's a Libra though.
My life
Okay,
rising's a
okay.
Libra. His a Cancer.
The fuck? No, I'm a
I fuck
Cancer.
with Cancer.
I'm a
Yeah,
Cancer
Cancer.
Gemini
What are you?
cusp.
What are
I'm a
you?
Cancer Gemini
I don't
cusp.
believe in this
Okay,
shit, by the way.
okay.
Just
I
to preface.
believe in it, but I just don't know
Okay.
about it. I'll like.
Yeah.
What about the cards? Do you guys read the tarot
Like
cards?
tarot cards?
Bro, I don't.
I just do
with the
fucking
cards,
exhaust,
man.
bro. You know what I
just
did
do
once?
exhaust, bro.
You know what I did once?
I just
No,
do
like
bot talk.
when I actually felt like I needed tarot cards, bro. I'll tell you, one time I was so fucking down bad. I actually felt like I needed tarot cards like 3 months ago, and I got 2 pieces of
That was when he
paper.
became single, of course.
No, it was like something related to fucking some big shit, and I wrote option A on one paper, option B on the other paper, and I closed my eyes and I put one closer to the soup of fucking Mataji in front of me, and then I did that one, and then I just
That's
felt like
a-
that was my version of a tarot
It's your
card.
connection.
That's an
yeah.
amazing story.
Yeah, but then I was
Yeah.
like fucking deep, like 2 a.m.
But
and
you guys
shit.
should try it. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty like
It's funny.
The thing is, like, even if you believe it or not, the things that it says in there make you question your reality and perspective, and gives you new perspective to allow you to unlock these other things that you have not thought about
Okay,
before.
he's saying it like it's a freaking Ouija board. It's cards that are literally like you'll pull a card, it's energy. You're putting your energy into the cards.
Okay.
You'll shuffle the cards and you just sprawl them out. You can do different spreads, so
Okay.
like past, present, future, or a present issue you're facing, how to overcome it, and then all of the cards will have descriptions. So like say you pull a card and it's like this is the card of growth or wealth or
Yeah,
rebirth.
I got a
right?
rabbit.
Yeah. So then
You're a rabbit.
Yeah, I got a rabbit.
Nice.
It was like you're like
Yeah.
shy and shit, but you're a big dog, but you're like shy of doing things.
Is that the
Anyways,
Chinese horoscope?
oh fuck, I don't even know. Dude.
Yo, I'm.
The zodiac?
Yeah, guys are so deep into this. You got me lost, man.
I think it's very different though for a girl to be in a club than a guy to be in a club.
Okay, what about girls celebrating a birthday party for her sister? And she's only going for
In a club?
for
In
the
a
girls.
club?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like rocking, man.
I'd be rocking.
if it's her
man.
sister,
That's your
if her
sister,
family's
man.
there
It
and
is what
shit.
it is.
Yeah.
Like,
But at the end of
am
the
I
day, it
there?
comes down to
Am
history.
I there?
What if she goes, I just want my sisters, and then we go home right
Now I'm
after
down
that?
sus. Now what the hell's going on?
What if the girl keeps you updated all
Then
night?
it's chilling.
Yeah. And
It's not even about that. You know why? It's because I know how guys are at clubs, or how they can be. So it's more of a safety thing. I could.
That's the thing.
I don't
And-
think.
but also
yeah.
with that situation specifically, it's like you have to understand who the girl is and who the family is.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you went to the club with your sisters, which at the beginning you did, right? That one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really care, because the example that you set for your sisters, I could never see you doing anything wrong. It was a one-time thing. And the person you are, I feel like I have the confidence
Yeah.
to be like, nah, like it's going to be good, whatever. Plus, it's like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Like, it's just I can't understand why somebody would do something stupid like that at that stage with what we have going on.
that's the thing. That's where girls get it twisted. If you're this is how I view a relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody, that is your person, right or not. It doesn't. Nothing can touch it.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
like
That's how it should be.
I'm
but
gonna plug
most
Shah Rukh
times
Khan
not.
here. The movie Rab Ne Banadi Jodi. The song is "I See God in You," right?
Yeah.
If you view your partner like that, then it's like,
That's
what am
sick.
I gonna lose? Like, I'm not gonna lose God. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lose that person or that being. But people take that for granted because what they see outside, like how you said, the grass is greener.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you don't have that instilled in yourself, like, okay, cool, people are single. Single people are gonna do single people things.
Exactly.
But if you're taken, then value your takenness.
Act like you're taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Show that you're taken.
Yeah, like
Exactly,
you
yeah.
could brush people off. You could do whatever you need to do. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, no one's gonna touch what you and your partner have.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're smart about it, you wouldn't lose it.
Exactly.
Right?
That being said, too, though, I know like some girls they just like the attention from other guys.
They do. Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
girls do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's because it's so like it's given to them so easily now. Like you can post one picture on Instagram and be given like thousands and thousands of likes, right? And then girls will get stuck on that dopamine fix that they get from those likes, and they'll keep doing it. And they have like 100,000 followers, and they feel like they've succeeded in business.
Let's
So
build
it
on
gets-
that. I've seen girls in the Lower Mainland doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And
Wojanda?
okay, so they do.
This guy was telling me to start a fucking he was telling me to start a $5.99 subscription for videos of myself.
Who would pay $5.99?
You said you would pay $5.99.
I know. I'm asking you who else would pay. I would pay.
Okay,
Yeah, it's actually
I'll pay on all my credit cards, bro. I got you.
I-
What's your favorite watch?
right now, probably I just want to fucking C-Star right now. Something chill. It's like $900 ish. Something
Yeah.
chill. Something that like people are like, yo, why didn't you go get like a fucking 5-10K watch? I was like, I want to save that for when I'm at a different place in life. I don't know.
I would do this.
jerking it
I
right
would
now.
do this. I would do this. That guy that I mentioned at the beginning, Pejman Kadimi, take his watch trading course. It's $297.
What are you rocking right now?
It's a Datejust 41 Oyster with the diamonds.
Then I'll listen to you.
with the diamonds.
I want to listen to you if you're rocking
So
secondhand and shit.
I love this watch, and the reason why I love it is because I've made money on it. I understand how the watch market works now.
Yeah.
And instead of my money being in useless assets like the fucking term deposits that the bank offers,
Banjo.
all those things, bro, useless compared
Yeah.
to the amount of pleasure you can have while enjoying your money, keeping it in safe places, but also having it appreciate.
Dude, you gotta rock just the fucking banana with the watch. That's actually, I respect that and shit. You pull up with just a basic ass banana, but then the watch just levels you up like 10x, bro. Like,
It's on-
that's
that's
just
my
fucking
goal.
sick,
But
bro.
you know what? It's not the price tag on the clothes. It's how you wear the clothes.
Buy the watch.
Well,
buy the watch. Buy
which
whatever
one?
watch you want.
I know. No,
Park
I
money in
started
there, make money, and park it in
when I
watches.
was fucking down bad in life and like fucking academic probation, shitty relationship, fucking sleeping half the day. I bought a Orient fucking Kamasu. It was like a $400 Japanese watch. I'm still rocking it. It has a special place in my heart because that was a footloose when I got this year, and I believed in myself. I fucking went to New York, started a podcast, started a business, got fucking straight A's, and now I want to get another watch to
Yeah,
fucking
just
look
go
back
straight
on.
to the rollie, man. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. Trust me. Trust me.
I just,
You won't regret it.
Really?
If you buy the right one, stick to a Datejust and get 41. Don't go 36. It's gonna look stupid.
that's Jananito.
Yeah, it's gonna look unless it's a
Can't get too
Prezi,
small.
because the old
Right?
Prezis are
That's
36.
what you get for your shorty. No, you get that for your shorty. You get your shorty to 36.
She would love that. I think.
Yeah, the 36. Yeah,
It would look fine on her. Even like a 32 would
It
look
just
fine
looked
on her.
fine.
Yeah, it's
That's it.
But your hand is
fine.
tiny.
I think
Yeah.
a gold one with a green dial would look really good with you.
Really? I feel like gold gives like Baba at the Gordora vibes. and
Dude,
shit.
no, I feel like gold makes you look like you come from old money. Like
It does look good
it's
on our
so
skin, though.
dope.
Depends
And-
what other accents you have. Like we got this bracelet. You know that
Like the
spark
matching
bracelet
the-
thing that you can't take off.
Some Buddha
Yeah.
shit.
It's like
yeah.
a big ass
Yes.
commitment, eh?
Wait, it's like a
But
cup?
we did it, and
I
like
just
we.
Yeah.
You have one?
No, the only thing I wear is this.
This guy's 6
Okay.
months in, man.
Yeah.
Bro, we
Listen,
did
we
it-
got this like 2 months in.
Not
Really?
even.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Like barely 2 months, bro. I was like, you know what?
It's crazy.
It's already. I already know I'm gonna do it with her. So may as well just.
He's gonna do
spend
it.
the money.
Oh.
Commit. Let's commit to
That's
something.
it. Yeah, you fucking
Right?
you pushed off Dubai and everything. as
Yeah.
Bro,
well.
if I'm not going to Dubai, I don't mind buying this thing that was like I don't even know how much.
Wow.
I just feel like it's crazy. When we talk about it now, our first month or 2 months was like, it felt like 6 months. There was so much stuff happening every single day. It was just like, I'm learning this about him, we're talking things through,
Yeah.
and like you get to know so much about a person. But it goes to show when someone's willing to put in the work and you meet that person you click and connect with,
Yeah.
time is not a thing. Time does not matter. You could
Yeah.
be like, I knew it a month going into it, I was going to get married to him.
That's pretty sick,
that's
man.
cute.
But I had to
Yeah.
tell her, I had to be
That's so
like,
sweet.
listen, she was all closed off. I'm like, listen,
Yeah, you
it's
had
not
the
going to work if you're
aggressive
closed off. Better open right now. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Right?
In my head, I'm like,
Essentially.
sit
You
down.
said that?
In my head, I'm
Essentially,
like, don't
yeah.
you worry, buddy. I got you hooked on life. Like,
But that's what I
She got a
said.
ring. She
I
got a ring.
got a ring. I'm like, okay, don't worry.
I had that serious conversation with
That's
her.
good, man.
I'm like, dude, you got to lay it out. Otherwise, like, open up. Otherwise, we got to move on, right?
I was literally like,
Bro,
what the
literally what I
fuck?
said.
Yo,
I
man.
questioned my life after that for a day. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, no,
dude,
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
busy.
like-
no,
and
but
you were
that's
probably
the
ready
thing.
for it
It's
to-
when someone puts, it's the same thing. Like what I'm saying, the fear of losing somebody. You're
Yeah.
in that position of like, fuck, like I do need to try. Like, yeah, maybe I'm not communicating enough or I'm not doing this. And it's like that person's actually recognizing that and valuing that. They value that. And if I want to be here, I have to show up, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the girls are always like, oh,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I'm not gonna tell you what's on my mind, and that's where all of this single culture comes from.
Bro,
Because-
wait, say it louder and louder and louder. You don't speak your mind, it's never gonna get resolved. End
Never.
of story.
You gotta
Let's
speak
go to
your
the
mind?
topic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Speak your
okay.
mind, man. Honestly, no, I
Yeah.
think it goes for both parties though. You have to.
It's the same
Yeah.
as business. If you don't ask for the sale, you're not going to get the sale.
No,
If you don't ask for what you want, like you're not. It's a bit
Preach.
business and marriage is the exact same thing. I'll say it like throughout the podcast, but there's so many examples why that you can relate the two, right?
Fruity kind of ambo ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾ ਲੋ same shit. ਉਹੀ
Bro, we
ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ।
would, man. We really don't care where we would do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we would do it like fucking in my backyard.
Obviously, real estate is something that's huge for you, right? For both of you.
Yeah.
So I have a question that I feel like everyone wants to know. How did it feel when you first sold your first property?
Oh,
Like, what was that feeling? What was that feeling like when you
pure
first sold?
excitement.
Excitement?
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like fulfillment. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, and then when you call somebody, your offer's accepted,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
done,
Oh.
and then you hear the cheering on the other end,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you're just like, wow, like I did something for someone. And
Yeah.
then when they come and they see the house, and then or like their condo, for me it was like girls that bought their first time property, and they're
Yeah.
two sisters, and I was just like,
Aw.
wow, and they're
Aw.
a little bit younger, and I was like, they're like, oh, we look up to you and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Aw.
that puts you in a position where it's like nothing can compare.
I
to
know
you.
that
Nothing
fucking
can
fulfillment. It's like a
compare.
new birth, yo. I feel
Yeah.
that shit. Feel like a
Yeah.
newborn baby, freshly motivated after that. After
Plus, you got
fucking
paid.
You got paid.
I thought of
Yeah.
it totally
Yeah.
different. I was like, okay, I don't really give a shit. It was weird. I did 4 deals at once. I did 4 deals like at a very like
Damn.
within a matter of a week.
Please shit on her.
I was just like, I don't give a shit because like 3 of them I'm not getting paid for 4 years because they were pre-sales,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
1 I got paid, sure, but it's like, what am I gonna do? Rest on these 4 sales now, or am I
Yeah.
just gonna go get more?
Combo
'Cause-
ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ
well,
ਸ਼ੋਸ਼ਾ ਲਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ enjoy
no,
ਕਰੋ
man. You're only as good in real estate's a tricky job because you're only as good as your last sale. If you stop selling, you're a piece of shit. You can be top 1%.
no
one
that's
year.
actually facts yeah,
Yeah. And then you can be like 0 the next year. Unless you build a passive stream within your real estate business, you cannot manage that business without actively being a part of it.
Yeah.
And handling a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And what's
So-
also tough is like if people see that you've had a great year,
Yeah.
and the next year the expectation is that person must be producing or they're rich and they're doing well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pressure that hey, I need to top last year. I need to do
Yeah.
better because now if I don't or if I do the same, people are gonna be like, this person fell off.
It's good if
This
that shit
person's not
drives
doing
you.
it."
It's a good drive though.
Yeah,
It is a
yeah.
good drive,
But
but it's
tension ho
also,
jandi.
it
Yeah,
puts you
yeah.
in situations too. A lot of realtors get put in situations where they make a lot of money and then drugs and alcohol take over.
Yeah.
really
And
Yeah.
then
Never
if
knew
they
that.
don't, dude,
You should see it, bro.
no actually
Realtors
yo,
are-
I thought fucking realtors buy it yo
No,
like
no,
they drink
no, no.
wine and shit
no,
It's
they
true.
That's
don't.
your one.
they're like
They do
classic.
crack, bro. They do crack.
Yeah.
You can let it get to you, man. If you
Yeah.
make like, if you make 200-300 grand in 1 month,
yeah
so if you're not trained to handle that money, it'll fuck with you. You'll be like, fuck you, I'm like better than everybody. Your ego gets inflated. You start doing these things. If you are heavily influenced by drugs and alcohol, you start to do more, and then it just becomes like a freaking spiral, right?
And it
Yeah.
also is like people have never seen that much money in their life. So when you make that 100,000, 200,000, you're like, wow, I don't know what to do with it. It almost becomes a feeling of like, what can I do with it? And then
Yeah.
it can be so slippery where you're going out and you're celebrating with friends, and then you have that thing in your head of like, I can afford this, I can do this, and then you're changing the way your lifestyle is.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're out 100 grand because all you're doing is paying for bottles every time you go. Your
Yeah.
friends are expecting you to pay for them because
Yeah.
oh,
Friends
you're a
start
big
being
wig
like,
now.
yo,
right?
yeah
got
everyone's
it.
your homie in that
Yeah.
You got
moment
it.
too that's
Yeah,
the thing
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
like, you can afford it. Like you got us.
All these
Like
random-
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
you get this posse and shit
You know what it's
Yeah.
called? It's lifestyle creep. It's where like you
Yeah.
start, going overboard because people gotta like. You gotta,
happens like NBA players
yeah.
a lot when they
NBA
get, like,
players
drafted.
bad, man.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have a lot of. A lot of them try not to have a lot of friends, right?
yeah
Is because
yeah.
you can't really tell at that stage like who's a real friend or not.
You
Like
gotta have your
it's-
OGs and that's it
Yeah, like imagine like Jay-Z can't just make friends. Like how are you gonna be Jay-Z's friend? Like he's
Yeah.
gonna think that you're trying to take advantage
Jay-Z
of him.
ਬਥੇਰੇ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ Beyonce ਤੇ cheat ਕਰਕੇ
Oh, damn.
ਆਲੇ ਦਾ ਕਰ ਵਰੀ ਦੋ But yeah, I know what you mean for sure.
Not when he's making that money.
That brother
He does not
get
care.
paid.
What do you think of like people airing their dirty laundry on social media?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I think
I feel like
I'm
the
talking about like
older
20
you've
plus,
matured.
25
Yeah.
plus.
no.
maybe.
It just doesn't make any sense. It just speaks more
Yeah,
about
but
you
like,
than
what
the
if
other person.
like, dude, people literally have relationships just for clout nowadays.
Yeah, that is
like
true.
you
Have
can
you seen
fucking
those-
get followers, which translates to views, translates to sponsorships and money.
No, fuck,
I can
fuck
fucking
the
see it.
high like follower people. Like, what about the people
Just
that
like the
are-
Ambande, right?
yeah, like
Okay, yeah.
making content, then they get
They need
broken
a
up with, they
Jappi,
go
yo.
crazy and like
Nah, bro.
They need a
even
Jappi.
even Ambande, that like I'm an on person. I don't have that many followers
Aw.
right now, right?
Also,
Maybe
humble.
on-
But
yeah.
but
Yeah, she's had it
people
on,
that have like even that much of a following
Yeah.
develop a complex that they think they're famous or they think they have something to prove.
Yeah.
Those people posting when
That's
they think that
crazy,
their
dude.
message.
I
is
shut
lot
that
of
shit
people
down,
do.
bro. When someone like goes like, "Oh, you're famous," I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
No,
But
you
what
don't wanna
about
be
somebody like
famous.
that and they
Nobody
post
wants to be
something? Then
famous
what?
like that.
Well, like that?
Yeah.
Like in
I
the
don't give a
sense that you
fuck,
think
yeah.
you're better than everybody else.
Yeah,
Oh no,
fuck
you don't
that.
want to be like that. You want to relate to the common man.
That's the
I like how like I could just go to India and like see random fucking people on the street and shit and just be like a full on dipper in a fucking kambaloi like shitty ass bug and I could just be a straight normal person. I could have $0 to my
Having
name
a
or
go
100,000.
Eat your pant.
I could just go like
go eating the pant and all.
yeah. Like I fuck
That
with
was a
that.
vibe. It's a bada vibe track of that.
Yeah.
Studio.
Okay, let's say you're in a short-term relationship.
Why?
and
Why'd you look at me
so-
like that when you said that, yo? Why'd you say that?
6 months.
Yo,
I was pointed.
6 months.
yo, what do you mean by that?
Let's say you're in a short-term okay, let's say you're in a short-term relationship. Not even, or just you're in some sort of relationship.
Okay.
Wasn't really a relationship. Or like where you guys are like together but not together, you break up, and do you think that warrants someone posting something online?
No.
I don't think it ever warrants something.
I don't think.
posted
Yeah, I don't think it
online.
ever
I mean,
does.
like,
It speaks more about your character than the other person's. At the end of the
But
day.
the problem is the general public doesn't see that. They see it as an entertaining thing. They grab their popcorn and they listen,
Yeah.
which adds more fuel to the fire.
But that's the thing. You just don't participate.
You don't
It
even
goes
get in
away.
a
So-
talking
It
stage with
goes
those
away
people.
within like a month or two, bro, and then people forget.
And do you think your non-participation harbors acceptance and agreement with what the person posts?
If it depends on what they're like saying. If they're just like, "Oh yeah, we broke up," like fuck that guy, I'd be like, "Hey, whatever."
What about creating a narrative?
If they're
What
cre-
if it's creating a narrative
Oh, yeah,
that
that's facts,
like,
right?
not true? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know girls or I know people that will say like, if you're in a situation, say you got broken up with, you will create a narrative because it might make you feel better.
Exactly, but
Right?
people are wanting sympathy, right? And I
Yeah.
get that to that extent. But here's the thing: if it's something that's affecting me and my future business or something or relationships with other people, then of course I'm gonna stand up for myself to an
How
extent.
are
But
you
I
gonna
wouldn't.
Only if it
How would you
affects
stand
you,
up?
not as like just a good citizen. You wouldn't just
Bro,
be
if
like,
it's
yo,
here's the thing.
fucking grow up, bitch.
No,
Yeah, someone with one of those. Be like,
no,
yo,
here's the thing. Like to your
You
point,
could, I
just
agree.
fucking slap
Yeah.
shit
But
out of
how do you go about trying to correct that behavior?
I mean, there's only a few ways to be honest. Like you can, if you respond with
Goli
like,
Marto. Sorry, that's out of pocket. That's just my line, yo. It's like Goli Marto. Okay.
And this is how people get shot on podcasts.
this guy, man, you can't. This one you know, ADHD show with these two fuckers that sit together. You can't have these conversations. Because this guy will be like, "Goli Marto." Like, shut up.
Ah, choo, choo.
And that's when he regretted telling him he
No,
doesn't drink
but
anything at
fucking-
Starbucks for coffee.
Yeah,
Yo.
that ass is shit. This guy fucking ripped on me for a little bit after, but yeah,
Yo, I think you can take someone out and just have like a fucking intervention with them. Like
I
I've
don't
had
think that's
interventions.
possible with
No,
women.
some
With
people
women?
can't.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think if I broke up with a girl and she was acting tyrannical, I don't think that I could take her out. And
No,
have a proper
you
conversation
couldn't. But
with
like
her.
maybe one of her like well-hearted lady friends could be like take her out and then be like, "Yo, tu pacho tika."
Bro, girls don't look out for girls. Girls
Yeah.
don't look out
Then
for
it
girls.
wouldn't happen.
Girls
right?
are gonna hype the girl up to be
girls
like,
would be
"Oh,
like,
that
bro,
guy
you
ain't
did
shit."
nothing wrong.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
ain't
that guy
ain't shit.
Oh,
Fuck
I'm
that
gonna
guy.
hype
Yeah,
you
it's a
up.
good-
Like, don't worry, we'll
It's a
figure it out.
It's a
right?
delusion. You're not with the person for obvious reasons. You understand why you broke up. Leave it. Fuck it.
100%.
Yeah, but how do you say that?
Yeah.
How do you say that to who? The person or
Yeah,
to?
the person.
I mean, obviously, there's like a trika of saying it. You can't just fucking go up to the person and be like, "Yo, fuck off! Like, stop being a bitch," right? Like, you can't say that.
You
either.
just report their account for inappropriate fucking pictures or some shit.
Nah, listen. So like this guy's wild, right? If someone's like attacking on social media, there's like I said, there's a couple ways to go about it. Either you defend yourself and on the points they made, and you just keep it at that point. If they keep rebuttaling, then obviously then you're fucked, right? Because then
That's the thing.
Then
It'll
it's-
start to grow something.
then it starts to grow.
Then it's
something.
internet beef. And
Yeah.
internet beef does not die.
Horrible, yeah.
It's
horrible.
terrible to get
It
into.
stays
That's why I've
there,
never got into it.
Right? I don't get into it. I think honestly, like the best. I'm gonna be honest. The best way to get out of it is just not to reply.
It's silence.
Yeah.
It's
It's,
silence.
it's
And it
like-
pisses them off.
It
more.
pisses them off because it's
It
like, why
does.
isn't this person caring enough to reply to me? If you give them more ammunition, it's just gonna be worse for you, right?
I feel like people that decide to take their issues online or that decide to post it like that,
Yeah.
it's semi-narcissistic behavior.
100%.
Because when you're looking for that, you're looking for attention. You're looking for evoking emotion out of somebody and pulling that anger and frustration for someone to come back to you or give you attention.
100%.
And then so when they're looking for that attention, they don't think that it is, but they're secretly or subconsciously or knowingly wanting that person to do it. Why else would you be posting? You're not going to post it just to let things bygones be bygones. You're posting it to get a rise out of somebody.
But at the end of the
right?
day, too, you're also delaying your healing process. If you're doing that, that's digging you deeper into a grave, which doesn't allow you to heal and move forward with life. And if you're at an age where you don't have time, is not on your side, especially as a female, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You're wasting time. Like,
Even
fuck.
as a guy, like
No,
anybody.
but
that
a woman's
posts-
got a biological clock.
That's
Why are
facts.
you dicking around and doing dumb shit when you could just be moving on and starting your life?
Maybe that's why said person or like any person that it gets in that situation is still single.
Possibly.
Because, like it could be a perpetuating cycle.
Yeah, they could
And-
be the problem.
I think we all just need help.
They're the fucking problem,
I think
man.
they just need help.
And-
I think a lot of people need help, though. I
Yeah.
needed help at a certain point, bro. I've gotten so
Did
much
someone help
man.
you?
A lot of people help me,
That's
man.
good, yo.
A lot of professionally and just personally.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate
A
how a
lot
lot
of
of people
people
are like,
help.
yo, no one was there for me and shit. Yo, like that's just sad, yo.
Listen, no, people
Some
are
people
always.
don't have anybody, though.
Yeah,
I actually
I feel
know
like some
someone
people,
that actually
because yo, the
Really?
thing is, in toxic
Really?
relationships, sometimes you end up cutting off everyone around you.
Yeah.
Like I've been there too, where you hop out of some shit and they're like, man, dude, I haven't even talked to anyone in like 6 months, and then you.
True.
Right?
The
Yeah.
wrong person will steer you further from your family. The right person will bring you closer to your family.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
truly believe that. I've seen so many examples of people being taken away by their partners. If your
Yeah.
partner's not bringing you
That shit's
closer to your
a-
mom and dad,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
the fuck are you with them?
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
I don't even think why are you with them, man?
The
Your parents were
people-
there first. Your family was there first. How are you
Yeah.
gonna be a dickhead when you just got this new person in your life?
But that's also up to the person in the relationship to tell their partner, hey, this is my family. I hold them up here. So I need you to hold them up here. And if you don't respect them, then there's a door. Because if you don't put that standard of like, I respect my parents or I respect my family or
Yeah.
I want this relationship, your partner's not going to feel the need to build that relationship.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
and then if your partner's saying bad things about somebody, you're obviously being their partner going to think bad things about that person
course.
without knowing them. So it's really up to the person that you're in a relationship to set the stage for how they want you to view their family or their
Yeah.
loved ones or near ones. And
Yeah, that's
then
facts.
that's how they create that relationship and that bond.
Yeah.
Because if he told me, hey, my mom is A, B, C, and D, and I'm gonna be like, damn, like that's not nice. Like, and then I'm gonna have an interaction and be like, oh, like,
Yeah.
she's
It's the
red
not
car
nice. She's a great lady,
right?
by the way. She's
You-
an amazing lady.
Red car scenario.
But,
Shout out.
listen, my Mendy is dark, okay?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But
You know,
no, like,
but one thing is too. I think manner of myself and even you can agree with here is as us guys, three guys sitting there, we can confidently say, yo, we set standards, but a lot of men don't, right? Because a lot of guys are just complacent. They're just like, yo, man, it is what it is, right?
I think a lot of men are also not worth setting standards for. If you're
Yeah, that's
if
facts.
you're a piece of shit not doing anything with your life, why should you have standards?
Yeah.
Right? Why are you gonna get a good girl?
To get with anyone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna
Yeah,
like.
shit.
You're gonna get the bottom of the barrel, right? That the
course.
thing is, like, the more you work on yourself, the more
can
higher
ask
level
for.
of a person you can ask
Yeah,
for.
I
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, right. Because
Of
like
course.
you develop yourself, then you expect the other person to be developed in certain aspects, and if you're not developed, why would that person want you?
Exactly.
Right? It's getting further and further apart with Instagram showing everything like fucking yachts and bottles everywhere, right? It's getting further apart because now a girl can just go DM a guy, a rich dude online and go get with him for the lifestyle. Right? So it's like, I don't know, you got to develop yourself as a
That
person.
and everybody becomes disposable. Like just putting your shit out there on social media, like the desperation of like people, like I guess the clothes that you wear or what you put out there, like it's very easy for people to have access to you. And like that's how you're saying, like we brought up the common OnlyFans. People have access to you, but if
Yeah, of course.
your partner has a certain standard of how they want to be and you have a standard of what you want your person to be like,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you will find that person that will just be there for you, right? And not just
Exactly.
super accessible to everybody else.
100%.
Yeah, I
Great
appreciate
conversation.
it, man. These like opinions and
Cool.
it can't be discussed by a lot of people because a lot of people are sensitive.
Yes,
and a lot of
that's the
people are
thing.
unable to
Yeah.
have
Yeah, yeah.
opposing opinions.
Yeah.
But when you meet some people like you guys, man,
Sensitive
I
cancers,
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah.
Even if I-
Otherwise,
yeah.
you shouldn't belong on a pod because then you're really teetering on like, oh my god, like I can guarantee you guys probably experience a lot of hate, a lot of
yeah,
positivity.
of course.
Like goal is positivity outpowers the hate, but it doesn't stop you. from doing what you're
Bro,
doing.
I left the
right?
bank because of
Yeah.
that censorship, right? I worked at the bank for like 3 years or 2 years or whatever. And I just saw the patterns. Like they control what you say. The problem is like even other corporations I've seen in the community, in the Surrey community, large corporations that a lot of people
They're
know
all
of.
getting political as fuck.
Bro, they're
For
getting
no
so
goddamn
political.
reason.
We were doing
Bank
something
Bosco.
else. There was another interview that I was watching somebody do, and prior to the interview, the photographer was prepping them exactly what to say and how to say it.
Yeah.
Like
they
what
do
the
that
fuck?
thing.
And the question was like something very simple,
very
very, personal,
vague, yeah.
right? It was very personal, and you're trying to coach people on what to say that will make the brand look good.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. People are media trained too much. It doesn't
Way
come off as
too
genuine,
much.
right?
It's
That's
'cause-
the
yeah.
problem. It's like if this podcast, for example, you guys came on and I immediately give you guys a piece of paper each and I said,
Cliff notes, yeah.
you guys can't say this, and this. Then it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but that's
Right.
why you guys' podcast is so successful.
These guys can attest to my Snapchat being pretty lit, yo.
Just
Yeah,
by
because
snaps.
they're the 20 bucks.
Yeah, the 25 Snapchats, the
Guys-
Sancho bundle
It's because they're not
and
paying
shit.
$5.99, bro.
Yeah.
That's why
I get
they're happy.
premium private
That's
story
what I'm
access.
saying.
This guy's like
Day
on
one.
a mission every day doing some
Yeah.
stupid ass shit and I love it.
Enjoy
For
it.
free.
Bro.
Yo, even this guy will be like commenting on my like private story. My private story is on some motivational shit, and this guy will be like, "Active, sometimes see your story, and I just feel like, yo, like what's wrong with you?"
Active will be like walking to the gym. He'll be like, everybody just know, like, grab the apple off the tree and like go for it, shoot for the stars and shit. And I'll be like, holy fuck, yo.
He's probably like sending Buska.
You're like, "Wow, ho gaya jate tere."
My story is always just getting born to blast, dude. Honestly, like,
You can take it in both ways. Like I like the
Yeah.
motivational aspect, but the
It's so
thing is,
good.
the motivation won't last.
Yeah, it
Discipline
doesn't.
will last. Like you can send a cool quote, listen to a cool guy. I used to have I have so many Spotify or SoundCloud clips of like Will Smith motivation and like
do you listen to those?
I did in the past, but now it's like I can listen to them again. But it's like the only thing that's gonna make a difference if I shut the fuck up and just do the work.
Yeah, but yo,
Yeah,
should I
right?
tell you something I do? Is like nowadays a lot. I just fucking play those on repeat
Yeah.
while I work.
But what
And
if
that
you
shit
play
just
things
gets
like
deep in my
$100 million leads?
But then that's like too intellectual. I feel like I get split between the two.
But your body will, your mind will absorb even if you're not focused on it. Your mind will start to absorb things.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I listen to that stuff when I'm sleeping. I play it all night. Like usually,
You're the man.
he
And like,
doesn't.
go
No,
fucking
he
go
doesn't.
for it.
subconsciously it gets in my head.
Yo, it does
you're
get
not
in your head
awake.
like the fucking
You're not
Cordova
awake.
sticker, the little things, bro. They
You
make
go
it-
home at 2 a.m.
Calling it out, yo.
But no, I
Honestly, though,
also
yeah.
I listen to. There's a hypnosis you can listen to. Hypnosis for certain types of problems. So if you're having sleep problems, you can listen to hypnosis.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
having like certain problems like stress or like you have to let go of somebody, there's certain type of hypnosises that you can listen to while you're sleeping and it'll get implanted in your brain.
Oh, wow.
So you can do that stuff. And I used to like Grant Cardone's book 10x. I've listened to that like
Yeah, I
50
remember
times
that.
because I listened to it while I sleep.
Oh, yeah, because it's
Daddy
very
did
like
too.
real estate.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
That's-
very-
I don't know. I can't agree.
Well, I just
Like
listen to
attest
Bach,
to
bro.
that.
Yeah, I usually
Same
crank
thing. I
Bach on
grew up
repeat.
listening to Bach,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, I just listen
that
to
when I
Bach.
was a kid helped me fall asleep. And now I have like the little radio things that you
Yee,
stick
that-
in.
we have the radio
Clutch.
too.
Yeah,
The blue
yeah,
ones?
yeah.
We have like
No,
4 of those
blue
in my
ones.
house.
Yeah,
You can't find them, yo.
I'm like,
she has
I
them at
listen
her
to
shop.
Bach. Like,
They have them at her shop.
yeah.
You,
I
do you
don't
have
know.
some at your shop?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
That's-
Radio's
Sandu
bomb.
Cloth
Sandu
House.
Cloth House. Everybody
Hit
go.
Sandu Cloth House.
Gota kinari, khula kapra, everything
All
you
the
need.
above.
Kurte pajame.
Salad, suit,
Bach
sat,
radios.
chiniya.
Radios on the side.
That's killed. I love those stores. Those
And
stores make.
bracelets.
Yeah.
Bro's chopping up the pot radios
Yeah.
up the
I
back.
love
That's
those
crazy.
stores. They remind me of being a kid and fucking
Sick.
walking to Cedar Park with my BB and buying bot radios and shit.
Literally.
That was like all the action I had leaving the house back
It's
then. Fucking
crazy.
store stores hit.
Okay, so we're gonna have some tweets and viewer confessions. So I'll start with the tweets. Okay, so this person said, I got into being a real estate agent thinking I would work on my own schedule. It turns out I'm more overworked than I ever was before. I feel like I got scammed and I want to sue the society as a whole for putting this thought in my head.
Yeah, he sounds like a victim. Sounds,
Yeah,
like,
sounds
a
like a
victim.
victim,
Shut the
right?
fuck up and just put the work in. You'll be a millionaire, man.
Yeah.
Like that's how I think of it. I know it's
Fair
a joke, but at the same time, it's like
No, those people are lonely doing
some
it.
people
Yeah.
think
If
like
you-
that.
Yeah, if
they're
you're lonely doing
too.
it, that it
So that
fucking
so that one
feels
was
so
like
hard.
yeah, so that one's
Yeah.
a little bit like person, you know, you're saying a victim,
Yeah.
right? Here's one that's I feel like this. I don't know if you guys can relate to this. It's a real estate tweet again. Why is selling houses to Punjabi people nearly impossible? They will always find some type of issue with the house and ask for a 50 to 100K discount. Like, do you see the economy right now, fam?
Because you know why? People will give discounts, bro.
Yeah,
you don't get
yeah,
discounts if you don't
that's the
ask for
thing.
discounts.
True.
Especially right now, market shit. Fucking get all the discounts you
Buy
want
it.
right now.
Facts, buy right now, right? Okay, not financial advice, but would you tell someone to buy real estate right now?
100%.
Right now is probably one of the best times to buy real estate. You're supposed to buy real estate when nobody else is buying real estate. Otherwise, you're just another sheep buying everything that everybody else is buying. Whenever you buy in herds,
Yeah.
that's when you typically lose money. So if you can afford a mortgage,
Yeah.
get that. But if you can't afford a mortgage, get a pre-sale.
Fair.
A pre-sale, you're not locking your mortgage in until the pre-sale of the building completes. So pre-sale, you're buying it before the building is made. A couple years out, then you're just paying a deposit, a lump sum of money. And then after you pay that lump sum of money, you just sit there and wait. And then when the building is done, about 6 months out, you'll apply for your mortgage, and then you close on the property. So these are a couple years out. So we're thinking maybe 2027. By the time that year hits, interest rates are going to be low. So then you've already secured a property. Interest rates are going to start lowering. You're going to close at today's market price, and then you're going to get that year's interest rate.
So everybody's bitching about the interest rate. Okay, don't pay the interest rate. Buy a pre-sale, buy the price now, and get the rate later. Makes sense. There's always types of investments you can do. It's just about understanding and knowing which one to use at which point in time.
100%.
I think what separates a lot of like good realtors from the great realtors are like, yes, it's your knowledge piece, but it's also like just being honest with the public. There's so many agents out there like just rah on commission. Like I will bamboozle whoever I need to do just so I can make that 10K, 20K, and like fuck, like we'll figure it out later is what they say. They don't worry, right? Yeah. But it's like those clients are value, right? Like there's people that like this one home that you're selling them that you're making 20K commission on is or whatever 10 20K is that's their entire life. They spent their entire life just saving for this condo, and if they hit a bad agent, which there's so many bad agents out here, their whole life savings was put in the wrong hands and they've completely ruined it. Then what? Right? So you have to really be honest with your clients. You have to be willing to have those conversations. And you're gonna put your neck out. Like you're making money together. If they make $100,000, $200,000, you're making 10K. You're making less, but you're helping them make the money, right?
It's like a partnership. Whenever I sell to my clients, I always tell them it's a partnership, man. Because think of it, if you buy a house right now worth $1 million and I get paid 20 grand, and then if it's not worth 1.4 next year or in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, if it's not worth more than what you paid for it, how am I going to charge you commission to sell that property now? I'm not going to charge you if it hasn't made you money. But if it's made you 400 grand, I'm charging more than regular commission, whatever, right? Or I'm charging my whatever the commission percentage is, right? So a lot of people are changing commission percentages right now just because of the way the market is. It costs a lot more money to sell property, and we're actually in BC one of the lowest commission percentages. Toronto's double here.
Huge.
Toronto's like huge. If we move to Toronto, our income will double just by that move. If we do the exact same job there.
And Toronto has like 20,000 more agents than us, and they're still thriving. So it's crazy to see. You gotta put your faith in the right people, man.
100%. All right, next tweet. As a construction company owner, I swear brown people will be building castles and then complain it costs so much as it's being built. It never made any sense to me. Why do you do this?
Is that brown people? Brown people building the castles? Well, the thing is, they're living with multiple families, right?
But see, that's the thing. We had a conversation about this on a solo pod.
Yeah, dude, the fucking one Gorak came up to me the other day, and he's like, yo, like, so all those big houses that all you brown people build, like, how many families are in there? Like 5, 6, 7? Like, how did all of your mother-in-laws get along and shit? And I was like, yo, you fucking goddamn shit. Like, nowadays, like, everybody fights each other. There's like fucking one family, and they're probably the mommy, daddy, and then the kid, like, sometimes pulls up and shit. Like, it's not even like that. It's almost just like a thing that people say, like, yo, these goddamn Indians. Literally, they take their whole village and build one house. Like obviously you could do that. And I was like, bro, what the 700 fuck? It's literally
but the ones on like 168 where there's multiple like entrances on 168, right? Like those ones are like there's specifically 2 entries. And there's 2 families living in there. But think of what you could do with 2 families. Imagine 2 brothers did that, right? Built that massive house. Now they're both their wives are in there as long as the 2
both their wives,
as long as the 2 guys aren't idiots and sacrifice their relationship because of a girl. And both of them need to have that mindset. And the girls also need to have the mindset like, hey, how can we all do this together? And then you can have such nicer shit. Like you can pull together your money.
Society's very individualistic now.
So
that's the thing.
Like a lot of girls want their own thing.
Nobody wants. They want to move out. They don't want to live with their mother-in-laws. They don't want to live with the sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, or the BBs and whatever.
Damn, not the BBs.
Not the BBs.
Yo, man, I've always found that interesting from a perspective point, from my perspective, sorry. Because like a lot of people will just be like, yeah, yo, they'll try to tell the guy like, can your parents, but it's like, yo, these are the people that raised me. Like, what do you...
But that's why there's such a, like every story I hear, there's fights between mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, and then the families get separated.
That's like generational.
Because the girls and the moms will pick arguments with little things, not think about the bigger picture. And then they put the son in the middle of it, and then it's like, you choose. And then at the end of the day, you're tied to your wife. You know, your parents, unfortunately, there's going to be a time where you leave them.
Yeah.
And then so the guy's thinking long term, like I'm tied down. I love this person. I'm gonna side with this person. Families break
Dude,
apart.
that's crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, remember that one story I think Rav the chef was telling us where she was catering this one wedding and the fucking girl was like to the guy, like, if your mom comes to the event, I'm not marrying you.
I'm not marrying you.
Yo,
Like, it was like that
I was
much
like,
beef,
"Wolo, I grew
and they're
up
not
on
even
day."
married
What did the
yet.
guy do?
Pardon?
What did the guy
He
do?
went with it.
Well, he probably just
Sim.
rocked it. Yeah. Proper sim.
Such a
I
sim,
could
bro.
never.
Such a
fucking
See,
bitch.
but
do
this
Like,
is what makes
How
it
do you
like
do that?
You can't do it to
Yeah.
your mom, bro.
I don't
couldn't.
think-
I know, right?
Like I would.
Fuck.
At that point, I'd be like, you're not the right person for me. If
Yeah,
maybe
but there's
you
probably a
continue-
trillion red flags before that. This
Yeah,
is-
you
And
have
I-
But
to
you know
notice
what?
that.
This might be his first relationship.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
yeah.
That's the problem.
It's always dangerous when you have a bro who's never been in a relationship because you know when he gets in one, he's cutting you off.
He's cutting you
He's
off.
gonna go do his fucking thing and
crazy.
she's gonna
Bro,
pry.
don't fucking get me started.
gonna be
Yo,
snapping
that's why like I fuck with man, and then
downtown
I'm
and
so
shit.
close to this guy too, because like we know like it's always this first.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Guy
crazy.
laughing.
He doesn't know how to. He got awkward,
Yeah,
bro.
he
He
got
didn't know
awkward.
what to do. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah.
We have people that can get us through this. Professional help.
Yeah.
Show
No.
your emotions.
Yeah. No, the other thing is, no matter like whatever girl might come in your life, you obviously appreciate them, you care for them, you respect them, but obviously ultimately you also have to focus on other things as well. You can't just shift 100% to one person right away, or even or any time.
This
Right?
thing when they're freshly in it, they don't know anything else. So
That's
then
so awkward.
They're just so excited. They're like, oh, you know, she scratches my back at night. Like, bro, shut the fuck. You can buy
I'll
a
get
back
you a back
scratcher, bro.
scratcher.
100%. Dude, you can't do that shit, bro.
Yes,
Like,
man,
you
I would
can't.
say love ho gaya.
Yeah.
Viewer confession. When I was younger, I used to play soccer, and one time this guy tackled me to the ground. So on the next play, I tripped him beside the goalie's net. He fell face first into a big pile of mud / dog poo. I feel bad about it, but the game's the game. Am I in the wrong?
I think he. Okay,
No,
you know what?
you're
You
not
do this
wrong.
one.
No, game's the game. Like if you're gonna do it, people are playing a certain way in that game.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it, you're not adapting to what other
Yeah.
people are doing. You're gonna get screwed around like a little
Goddamn.
ragdoll.
Demon
No,
timing, let's go.
I think there's a right and wrong, and
Yeah.
that's not the right way to play the game. And I think he let his emotions and ego
Yeah.
get the best of him, and I
Yeah.
don't think he should have done that.
That too, but what if
He could use that
lost?
as an opportunity. Tell him it's wrong, and tell
Yeah.
him to learn as an opportunity. And hey, you know what? You could handle it better. Be a better player.
How are you gonna tell him in the middle of the game?
No, afterwards, reflect on it. Right, get better. Or you take him out, man. Sub him out. Yo,
So if, like,
don't
if
be a
you're-
dickhead.
So if your kid did this and you're watching
Yeah.
a kid play a game and
Yeah.
he like tripped up this kid, whatever, and you saw it happen, how would you?
If the first kid was actually deliberately being a dickhead and like
That's the
trying
thing. If
to
That's
you're
what I'm saying.
intentionally doing
From-
it, if it
from-
was unintentionally,
from
then
this
no.
person's like confession, it does seem like he tackled him to the ground.
Okay, then
Yeah.
my
So then
answer's
obviously,
different.
like
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: was he?
I might tackle the kid, man. Fuck. Apparently,
Yeah.
you get really defensive when you have children.
You do.
This guy loves
Yeah.
shit
No,
kicking
you do.
kids. Yeah.
This guy is a.
We were talking about it before. He just smacked.
a joke.
No, the
No,
tap him on the nose. Tap
Tap him on the nose. Tap him on the
Give him a
nose.
little-
Give him a little love tap.
I feel that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Give him a little, give him a little jumpy like. Oh,
Give the hug a little too
Oh,
tight.
oh,
Don't fucking do that. And then he goes to the gym because he wants to kick my ass.
Before we end off the pod, right? I just want to ask you guys two questions actually. So one, what did you guys think of the podcast? And two, what's some advice you guys have for anyone that wants to become successful in life? I'm hitting
Pod was great.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Pod is great. It's cool to connect with other people that are like-minded, and also people supporting other people to do well and pushing other people to be successful and putting yourselves in rooms to do well and expand, right? And you guys are putting stuff out in the universe, and we're happy to be a part of it. So that's cool.
that's sweet.
Piece of advice: if to be successful, surround yourself around the group of people you want to become. So
Solid.
because I didn't realize that until I met him, and I was very like I was in groups of people, but
tell Had to be like, yo, you got to do this.
dude, it was tough. Transition was tough, but I did have a couple breakdowns, and like working together is not easy. I cried a couple times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
I'm such a dick at work.
It was.
Really?
I was like,
Why-
yeah.
I'm not
You're
a
a big
dick.
dog.
I'm just like, yo, did you
straight
do
up.
it or no?
Straight
If
up.
you didn't do it, why didn't you do it? Okay, then fuck, why are you complaining?
But
if you
girls
didn't do
balance
it.
so much on their plate. That's the thing is
Yeah.
that's why it's like I'm dealing with a lot of personal shit on our end too, and then the business stuff, and then families where he doesn't deal with that type. So like when you're a girl and you're coming into say your in-laws house, there's responsibilities. You got to talk to everybody. You got to be present with everybody.
Yeah.
He can be on his phone doing whatever he needs to do. No one's
Yeah,
gonna
but
say
you have to
boo.
put that extra
Yeah, I
effort
gotta
in,
sit
yeah.
there. I gotta like talk to them and
Jatu,
converse.
there's rules,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like you have to, right? So then those things are there, and like then you have to put it into
Yeah.
perspective.
No, that's
but-
true. It is way more. I think, like you said, it just comes down to like making time to go skating and shit.
Yeah.
Like all that little communication
Robson.
stuff, right? If you stay, like, start
Inner
tapping
Surrey
in.
Jack is just coming out, yo.
Yeah.
Everyone's inner Surrey Jack is going crazy right
Those
now.
little things.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the invite to come here, but you guys do an amazing job balancing the fun, but the actual technical issues of a podcast. So it was an amazing conversation. I love hearing your perspective. You opposed perspectives, which is great. That's something that not a lot of people can do eloquently. And you guys both did that and added some humor in there.
It's
Thank
great,
you.
yeah.
And the second part of it, what was...
What's some advice you have for someone that wants to be
Yeah.
successful?
Apart from getting around the right people, choose the right industry, test industries to see what you like, and understand the way the world is going and what is actually possible based on your interests. Because the internet nowadays, man, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
You just got to figure out how to
Learn.
monetize
Sky's
it.
the limit.
Yeah, sky's the limit, and you can do it from anywhere, and you can build a life that is freaking beautiful. You just got to work really, really
Very
hard.
well spoken. Beautiful.
well spoken.
Thank you for watching the podcast. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Drop a rating, share with your friend.
Share with everybody.
Yeah,
Even
everybody.
non-friends.
Show support.
Yeah.
I don't know the cow. Cow pio.
Kutte nu the cow.
The ash karo.
Chiefs. Okay, bye.